Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. So anyway, according to our plan that we discussed with Professor Abdullah Ghani, so we should talk something about how to choose a research problem and then generating ideas. Of course, once you choose a problem, then we should know how to solve this problem. Of course, simply we cannot solve the problem. We need some ideas. So how we can get ideas? And then, of course, after knowing the idea, then we should start probably yes implementation. After implementation, then you have to start how to write an article. So that's again another huge task, and it's not so easy. So yeah, these are the three topics I would like to cover in this session. I don't know how much time I will take. And another thing you should remember here, whatever I am going to share here, these are all actually based on my own experience. So you don't expect any book or reference for justification or evidence, because it's all just my experience only. According to my experience, I just prepared some keywords and some information here. So you should believe in that way only. So that means what I'm saying, since you people are coming from different background and different expertise, then probably I don't know, whatever I explain here, it may match, it may not match. So what you, in that case, what should we think? What should we think? You just think that how this guy is solving the problem, how this guy is using ideas or generating ideas. So this just you need to think in the way I think, the way I solve the problem. So that means you just think about the process, so not like in exactly finding input to output or in beginning to end. It's not necessary. And of course, you are all faculty, you know very well. So I think automatically you can understand what I am explaining here and what is required for you. Okay, that's understanding is required, because I am talking most of the time. I talk about my topic only, image processing and video text detection and recognition. So probably I don't know how many people are working on this kind of this field. So yeah, if you are not working on this field, then probably yes, it will be difficult for you to understand some of the things. But anyway, that's what my suggestion here. You just keep in your mind, it is all just in the general topics. You just map it. Whatever I explain the steps here, you just try to map it. So that means map to your own thinking and your own problem. It is not that you are trying to understand my problem and my solution. It is not necessary. You just think that how you can map it. So how you can solve your own problem using my own thinking. That means in my way. If you think my way is fit, then yes, you can take it. Otherwise, okay, you just see how you can solve your problem. Okay, that's a minimum introduction I wanted to give. Then let us then start with this is what content, how to choose a research problem. Yeah, really it is a really problem only unless you choose, unless you understand it is a really research issue. So I don't think you can do any research work in during your PhD or your research period. So deciding a problem is really very important and very interesting also. So once you choose the problem, once you get in a confidence, yes, this is a really good problem, then of course it will be something like done half of the things. So just you will have a remaining off for completing the things. Then once you choose a problem, I think then generating ideas is not a big deal, because understanding the problem is actually a big deal. Once you understand the problem, here understanding the problem is not just defining it as an open issue or something. You need to understand the complexity of the problem. That is most important here. So that means you should know what really this problem makes a difference, and research lies and complexity lies here. So that is those things are very important here. And then of course, once you know the problem, then you start thinking how we can generate ideas. Of course, simply we cannot generate ideas. We have our own, of course, everyone will have their own ideas, their own resources, their own knowledge, so their own way of thinking. But just I will try to share my own way. Then you see whether you can follow my ideas or not. So yeah, that's the one thing. So generating idea is it's subjective. It is not an objective. So because it all depends on your knowledge and your thinking and your mindset, mood, everything it counts here. So then of course, writing article, it is also a very skillful job. It is not a very simple job. Even small mistake can destroy anything. So that's what possibility. Probably I will share many things here. So yeah, I have experienced many things, not just one or two things. Every day I can see some rejection. Every day I can see acceptance. Every day I can see major revision. So this is what actually my experience. So then how to address reviewer comments. This will not take too much time, but I don't know whether I get time or not. If I find time, probably I will touch this topic also. And finally, conclusion. I think before conclusion, if you have any queries, or maybe if you want to have an interactive session, yes, you can go for that. I don't have any time limit, so it all depends on you only. So if you want me to stop, I will stop it, or if you want me to continue, I'll continue. So that means I don't fix any time limit for my talk. So it all depends on you. Okay, yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, let us start with actually I have prepared slides in different way here. Probably all slides are not necessary for you people because you're all faculties, not like a students or someone else. So just maybe if you think this slide is not very important, then you can skip and move on to the next slide or maybe next topic. That's what we need to do to in order to speed up the things, or maybe yeah, maintain the timings. So yeah, first here I am trying to decide what are the key factors. That means in a criteria, simply we cannot go with anything. So we need to decide what kind of criteria or what kind of factors we need to consider. Yeah, that's what we should think first. So this one actually I prepared for both the things. So one angle, one aspect is can we choose a problem from industry point of view and from research point of view. This is what I prepared here. Probably for you people, just it is required a research point of view, not really industry point of view. Anyway, industry point of view I will not explain much. Just I'll try to focus more on research point of view. So yes, first key factor for me, that means applications. Yeah, this is what my point here. If you want to really define a new problem, so first you need to find what are the new applications. Why I am telling a new applications here? So you start thinking now. So this is what you should do. So unless you see new application, you cannot find new requirement. That is my point here. Yeah, maybe there are many ways of finding a problem. So yeah, many people, I think in our research, in our research, yeah, many times we try to go through a lot of papers and finally we'll decide, okay, this is the area interesting, or these are the papers are interesting, and based on that you will try to choose a problem. But nowadays this idea will not work. This idea doesn't work. Why? Every day you can see in different papers, different algorithms, and of course now world is so big, and because of the communication and advanced technology, now you can imagine for same problem how many people are working on the same problem in the world. That means there will be only one problem, but there will be many people are working on the same problem. So when you have this kind of situation, how you can confirm that whatever you choose a problem is really new, or nobody is working on this problem and nobody has published any paper on that, or nobody has addressed this problem? How you can confirm this one? This is the what I was worrying actually. Whenever I start thinking about a new problem, I just how really, okay, whatever you collect a paper, okay, whatever you take a decision based on your paper, do you think it is enough? How you can confirm, how you can ensure that yes, these are the papers are enough to decide some problem or take some problem? How you can decide? And every day you can see, and of course if you start reading every paper published by every day, it will be endless for you. There is no end. How many years you want to read? How many days you want to spend? You don't know. So when you have this kind of situation, earlier, of course, when we were doing PhD, of course, that time we did not have an internet connection internet also, no sources. Yes, only one way of finding a paper is to go to some library and collect some papers and then start reading papers. And after reading paper, then you find some relevant papers. After finding relevant papers, then you start looking at something. Okay, what is the drawback of that paper? After finding the drawback, then you will start thinking how you can make it a big problem. Yeah, that was the story earlier. Now this story doesn't work. This is all conventional. Now we have to change now. So that's what I started thinking, because whenever my student asks some problem, then how I can see it is a new problem. Even guess students are very smart and they are actually better than us. So even if you say this the problem is new, I don't think a student immediately accept your statement, accept your idea. So they come out with so many things. So they will try to search and they will try to look for so many things, and finally, yeah, they comment, okay, no, probably yes, for you it is new idea. Maybe I have seen so many things where you can see same idea is already published or presented. So yeah, this is the big problem. So what I am saying now, if you go with a new application, definitely I tell you here, there will be a lot of requirements. when you have many requirements, of course, there will be many challenges now. Now you start thinking, of course, application is not something like one small application. It will be very big application. It is where you can see a lot of challenges. Now, if you are coming from mechanical, if you're coming from electronics, if you are coming from different area, different expertise, now you start looking at applications to find your own challenge. Because nowadays every application have many challenges and many factors. It is not just one expertise is required to make any prototype or any system or any design. So every design will have, of course, multiple multiple disciplinary, interdisciplinary, and it requires many expertise. It requires many components, not just one component. Earlier days it was there, image processing is expert in image processing. Nowadays it is impossible to say that I am expert in image processing, I am expert in this one. So now everything is going by multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary and interdisciplinary. So what I'm saying here, so when you see new application, there will be a new requirement. How you can find a new application? That is again big question mark. How you can find, how you can say it is a new application. So this is also another big issue. Of course, I will try to give my own example so that you will get idea what kind of things we consider new applications. So maybe next slides I'll try to explain. So yeah, that's the thing. What I'm saying here, very important point. You need to think here. So all the time before deciding a problem, you just look for new application. That's what you need to remember here. So once you know it is a new application, then you start looking at which challenge is suitable for you according to your expertise, according to your knowledge and your specialization. Okay. Yeah, then of course area. Some people are mad. Okay, no, this is my area, this is my interesting, this is my specialization. Of course you can go, there is no issue, but this one requires more time. It is not so easy to decide. Of course, though it is a specialization, because as I mentioned earlier, there are many people are working on the same specialization and same area. So it is not so easy to say that, okay, whatever you choose a problem, whatever you understood, this one is not being addressed. It is really tough for you to confirm and ensure that, yes, it's really open issues. Okay, area, that's also another interesting way of finding a new problem. Sometimes, yes, supervisor. If your supervisor is really expert, I don't want to use the word expert, but he is really updating his knowledge and he has all updates and recent findings and everything, then of course you will have complete knowledge. Then you straight away go to supervisor and ask the problem. Okay, in this area, what should be in your area? What are the challenges remains unsolved? Yeah, then you take it. That is another way. So, and sometimes, of course, open issues. So yes, so this is what an old conventional way. So you always go with some papers, and then of course in every paper probably they will try to mention, oh, this is what the drawback, this is what the weakness, and this is what the challenge. So yes, you can take that one. Or maybe, yes, when you're going through the paper, probably you can understand easily, okay, this is the major drawback of the methodology. Yeah, yes, when you start reading, when you start going through the paper, automatically you can understand, yes, this is the problem with this method or something. Yes, you can take it. So that is actually very old and conventional way. Okay. Yeah, just I'm trying to give some idea. So this is all. That's what I. Yeah, in beginning itself I already mentioned. Whatever I am trying to list application, these are all my own thinking and my own way. Yeah, it's my own experience. So these are just I'm referring applications. It's not that you should follow my applications, but what I'm saying here, you just try to think like this, how you can find your own applications in your own surroundings. Okay, now according to me, intelligent driving without pilot. This is a very interesting problem and very interesting applications nowadays. You go to any country now, everyone is thinking in how to make it automatic driving vehicle. So even Singapore, I have seen it's already started and a trial and error is started, and I think US is also started. And now, of course, I think Malaysia is a very good problem. So I think, yes, soon I think you can see drones or maybe unmanned flights probably can deliver your food. Of course, in Kuala Lumpur, I don't know in your place here, I think Professor Abdullah Ghani knows very well that if you leave your house, reaching faculty, probably I don't know how many hours we need to spend in the traffic. So that's really tough in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur. So like this, probably now you start thinking, okay, drones can deliver food later, or maybe one day you can use a drone as a taxi. Who knows? Yes, if you start thinking like an applications, automatically you can see a lot of problems now. That's what my point here. So you find new applications. When there is a new application, there will be a new requirement. Then no need to worry. No need to worry about how to confirm this problem is a new, because it is a new application. When it is a new application, there will be a new requirement only. When it will be a new requirement, no need to worry, no need to worry how to confirm this is a new problem, because everyone knows, whole world knows this is a new application and a new problem. That is where I'm going now. I'm not going in a conventional way. Go through papers and find this one, do some experiments and implement this one. I'm not going in that way. So for me, this is better way. Okay. So drones. And okay, can we send objects from in one place? Yes, this I don't know. Maybe sometimes I think like this also. Okay, now you are sending all digital information, maybe document everything by email. One day, probably, who knows? Maybe not before. I think in our period it is not possible. Probably next generation. Yeah, maybe, who knows? Right? They can send something and some object through email. Like in a satellite is capturing something, and somehow it will drop over another country. Who knows? That is possible, because how satellite can capture. Now satellite captures only signal and send or communicate only signal. So maybe soon, who knows, probably one can invent such that satellite can access the whole object, like a human being also. Who knows? So that, yeah, just it's my imagination. You just start thinking in this way, automatically you can find a lot of problems and a lot of issues also. Can we protect in a territory? Yes, that's another issue. Why should we place our soldiers at the border? Not necessary. Now I just you think in one robo or something, automatically it will protect our country, our border. That's also another application, very good application, and it is really useful for our country. So can we use now everywhere robo only? So I think especially Japan and China is, yeah, these people are going like anything. Everywhere they're trying to bring some robo information and robo. So yes, you can start thinking how we can bring robo in your own applications. So once there is a robo new application, and of course there will be a new requirement, then you start thinking, okay, this should be the one issue, this should be the one problem. Then again, you start thinking how we can solve the problem. Okay, yeah, Mars. I think as per my knowledge, if you want to reach in Mars, yes, at present technology, when you see present technology, it will take, I think, 365 days according to me. Yeah, I think I'm not mistaken. It should be 365 days. Yeah, maybe, who knows? You just start thinking, why should we need 365 days? Maybe can you reduce to 15 days? Yeah, if you reduce to 15 days, probably yes, it will be, yeah, fantastic, right? You can change the whole world. Whole world you can change. Instead of saying that, okay, I went for vacation, probably yes, America or Europe or something. Instead of saying that, maybe you can say in one day. Instead of saying that in this country, maybe you can say that, okay, I went to this planet and this planet. So that's also a possibility. So that means, yes, just to start thinking like this, imagine like this. Okay, can you find new media other than text? All the time we always depend on some air information. Air is a media. So why you try to think something new media? Air is just leave this air information for breathing and use some new media. I don't know. I'm just posing the question. You people should start thinking. Okay, can you find some way to watch thermal image processing? That's also very interesting, especially of course border. Yes, now I think thermal image processing is very popular because of this coronavirus, and easily you can capture temperature information through thermal image processing. And I guess you can start thinking, can we use thermal image processing as a communication? Who knows? Communicate, yes, because temperature is passing through air. You just do something so that temperature can give us some information, not just capturing only temperature and heat information. Why? You are sending us some signal through thermal image processing. That means you are trying to use temperature as a mean to send some information. Now, why not? Yeah, like this, and you just start thinking. And similarly, of course, shark. Yeah, this is also very interesting. If you want to really study shark behavior and the dolphin, is really very interesting. Finally, my question is, can we, if you're really interested to study behavior of the animal, I tell you, it will be great advantage for you. You can get a lot of ideas. So you can bring so many ideas. So just I've given one example here. Yeah, maybe elephant, how elephant communicate with other elements, other elephants. If elephant vibrates his body, automatically waves can reach how many kilometers, I don't know. Of course, that wave, it doesn't matter whether it is a thick forest, raining, dark, day, sun, light, nothing is required. See, that is another new media. vibration. So because the elephant, when it vibrates its body, automatically the waves will move towards and so another elephant. That is the way the elephants communicate each other. Like this, you can find in even a shark also. I think you people know very well. Shark especially is sensitive to the blood. So maybe yes, if have a knowledge about the ocean and a fisherman, then you'll get a lot of idea. So if a shark see drop of blood in the ocean, of course you know very well shark always will be in the deep ocean only. Fraction of second it will reach the spot of blood. How it is possible? What kind of communication it has now? What we are talking all great things and communication. What shark is doing actually? Because it's, see you try to understand here, shark will be always in a deep ocean. How, what kind of signal so it uses to reach the spot of the blood blood? See, there is some communication. Shark is reaching the spot, shark is sensing the blood. How it is possible? See, there is like this, what I'm saying, if you really study behavior of animals, even including a dog also, even a cat also, you will find a lot of ideas. Now, once you know the ideas, you start thinking how you can use this idea for solving your problem. So some, just I listed in some applications so that you get idea. So that means what is my point here? You just try to look at new applications. So maybe how we can get a new application. It's all, see how I collected this information. It is all based on this newspaper and watching TV and news channel and discussing with the people and looking at some people like this only, because it's all, this is not in my area. Just general information. It's a common information. So everyone watch this kind of things. Everyone has this information. Now you just try to focus on that. Okay, what could be the new application? So this is the way, and you should think in new application. Once you know the new application, then definitely there will be a new requirement. And when there is a new requirement, there will be many challenges. Okay. Yeah, this is anyway application oriented. It's not necessary for you people. Just let me go through this one. Yeah, area research oriented, something you can see a lot of, I think for you people know very well, because you're all faculties here. You people know what are the areas are interesting and emerging areas in research. Yeah, you just choose whatever you like and whatever you feel interesting. So that's okay. I don't want to explain what are the things for image processing on this one. Yeah, this is again, yeah, the point is your area, how to decide a area. That is a question here. So can we choose image processing? Can we choose a pattern recognition? Can we choose artificial intelligence? It all depends on your specialization. Okay, if you ask me my specialization, probably image processing, that is the first. And maybe then if you again ask me, okay, in image processing is again big, in which you can see a lot of subfields. And let's say, of course, nobody can say, okay, this is the limit of image processing, this is the boundary of image processing. That is impossible for everywhere, impossible. So if you ask me again, okay, in image processing, what kind of things you are focusing, then I'll try, probably I would say, yes, my specialization is document analysis and video text detection recognition, like this. So you just since you people are faculty, maybe just you already have your own specialization and your own expertise and your own area, you just go with that one. Of course, we cannot change the area. It is not that, okay, nobody can say that in your area problems are saturated, this area is saturated. Impossible. If someone say this kind of this statement, you just assume that that guy does not have much knowledge. He has a limited knowledge. Based on the limited knowledge, he is talking like this. I think in research there is no end. You take any old problem also, new problem also, new application also, there will be research. Only thing is, it is our mindset. Okay. So don't believe if someone comment, okay, your area is old and your problem is old. Don't believe those things. You just go with your own passion and your own interest. Okay. Of course, this is application oriented, not necessary. Just go with research oriented. Yes, of course. Yeah, when it is a research oriented, yes, you have to consider so many factors here. So is it a really originality? That means an original problem, novel problem, new problem, contribution, usefulness, and impactness. Yes, you need to simply, we cannot choose a problem, right? So once you choose a problem, you have to confirm that it is a new problem. And after that, then you start thinking, really it is executable, implementable, measurable, so many things. Of course, simply we cannot choose some open issues which we cannot solve the problem in maybe 2 or 3 years. So yes, you have to consider those things. And literature, of course, application oriented, not necessary. Yeah, generally when it comes to literature survey, probably when you see a lot of papers every day, yeah, every day we can see many papers. So in this situation, so what my suggestion is, no need to go with 10-20 years papers, not necessary. You just choose the latest 5 years. That is enough. So if you find really many papers, just go with 5 years past 5 years papers, and not necessary to go with 10 years past papers, not necessary. And of course, if you see any survey paper and review papers, it will be fantastic. Straight away, you can use a survey paper and review paper. Of course, there is a big difference between survey and paper. And anyway, now I will not touch on this point. Of course, if I start telling you about what do you mean by survey, what do you mean by review, probably it will take another half an hour, 1 hour. I don't talk now. Probably yes, maybe yeah, in future, yes. Again, if we find this kind of a situation and opportunity, then we'll share it. You'll share that information. Now, if you are seeing any survey paper and review paper, then you should think that there are many people published papers on many issues. That means you can easily understand that yes, many issues are found in a solution here. So many issues have some solution here. So in this case, you have to put a lot of effort to decide what could be the problem and what could be the solution. It is not so easy. When you see some survey papers and review papers on some topic, then you should understand that okay, it is not really a new problem. There are so many many people have published and many things on that. So now it is your job to understand and find something new out of many papers. It's not so easy. Okay. So literature survey, yeah, that's what introduction section. Probably in the introduction section, you can see. Of course, I will explain this one when I start discussion on how to write an article. Introduction section, generally we refer applications. Of course, so if it is a new application and new requirement, definitely you can expect new application in the introduction section. So when you read application in the introduction section, and immediately you can catch it, you can understand that, oh, okay, this is one application. Okay, probably according to him, this is the new application. Now you start thinking, yeah, okay, for him, because this of course application is very big, it's not in small. So for him, this is the challenge. For you, maybe the challenge is different now. Maybe same application, but different challenges and many challenges. Now you take it. That is another way of getting the problem and choosing the problem. Experimental results. Sometimes what happens in, as I mentioned earlier, every paper will have some drawbacks. You have to mention at the end. You have to mention this is the drawback and this is the weakness of our paper. So yes, you look at those sample, look at those results, and immediately you start thinking. Of course, we don't write too many things about drawbacks in the paper. Of course, if you write too many things about drawback of your paper, then it gives a wrong message to reader, right? So that should not be. So we write in a simple way. Okay, this is a small weakness of the proposed method, but just you need that clue only. It is not that you need complete all details. Not necessary. Once you get in that clue, small clue, automatically now you start thinking, okay, oh, this could be the problem of this paper. Now that is a motivation. That is a reference for you now. Now you start thinking how we can make it that one as a big problem. So that is your job. Okay. But anyway, in every paper, some drawbacks automatically give some hints and clue for you to think new problem. That's also another way. Conclusion, of course, in every not conclusion, future work, that should be the last section. Generally, we mention, okay, what could be my future work? How we can extend this work? So that is also another way of finding a new problem. Of course, again, as I mentioned earlier, it will be, we don't write too many things about that. We'll just give in some hints and clue. So, but you should have ability to make it big. Okay, so that's the one. So limitations of existing methods. Okay, and of course, sometimes when you're going through the papers, automatically you can understand. Yeah, literature survey. Automatically you can understand. Okay, this method works in this way. This method doesn't work in this. Works on this problem. Automatically, you will get in some idea. You can find in some challenges. Okay, yeah, this is not necessary. Yeah, experiments. That's what, as I already mentioned, limitations are very important. You just look at the limitations in the paper, so you will get some idea. Failure cases, yes, that's also another source for finding a new problem. Complexity of the problem, yes, that's also another interesting area. That means, of course, nobody usually nowadays nobody talk in complexity of the problem. Now, yes, that's also another challenge. So if you choose the complexity of the problem as a new problem, then you should start thinking how to make it optimized problem, or maybe optimal solution. So that is another thing. Implementation issues. Yes, there are many issues when you start implementation. Yeah, generally we don't talk any implementation issues in the paper, but when you start implementing any paper or existing paper, then you will realize, oh, so many drawbacks of that method. That's also another way of finding a new problem. So what I'm saying here, when you start implementing, when you're doing some experiments, then you will come to know, yes, this is what the drawback or weakness of the method. So this method works only for these cases, not on these cases. That's what very interesting point for you. Once you know this method works only on these cases and not on these cases, then you just focus on that point. Okay, this should be the problem. And then of course, contribution. So contribution, yeah, you look at the contribution and contribution, then you decide, okay, if this is the contribution, then maybe yes, why don't you contribute something like this? So when you say originality and generality, again, that's also another issue. So okay, how you can make it generalized algorithm? It's not so easy. Okay. So efficiency is also another factor. If you want to focus on efficiency, yes, you can focus it. That means in structured algorithm and processing time like this. Yeah, I'm just after this one, just I will try to share my own challenges. Of course, these challenges are I've already assigned these challenges to my students. I think students are working on almost all these problems. Just I will try to share these things so that you will get idea how I thought that this is a problem and this is the issue. Okay, this is the one problem. See, it's not actually my area, because my collaborator in Nanjing University, he has a industry collaboration in Nanjing. So he was just talking with me. Yeah, see, this is the one problem. What is this problem actually? Ice image identification, especially in Nanjing as a winter season. What is happening? Power cable. So winter season, what is happening? Ice will be covered the whole power cable. When ice covered whole power cable, then there will be a breakdown. So yes, of course, power. Yeah, we cannot see power. So there won't be any power in whole city or whole Nanjing city. So that was the main issue. So it is really industry problem. It is a very challenging problem. See, this is a new problem. It is industry-oriented problem. Now, yes, just how we can solve the problem. So now we started thinking. Okay, initially we started how to classify image. You see, how to classify this ice image, this is a non-ice image. Once you know it is an ice image, then you should estimate thickness of the ice. That is the next step. That means we need to estimate the thickness of the ice. So if thickness is very small, okay, then still have a time. Oh, thickness is very large, then of course it is very dangerous now. So we need to take some action here. So this is what then approach. It's not so easy, especially because ice means what actually what is happening. It looks like a fog, it looks like a snow, and of course winter season we can expect in a cloudy also. When you have this kind of situation, of course it is not so easy to say that this is the ice first. So in the image, how we can differentiate this is the ice portion, this is not ice portion, this is something maybe object. There will be object which covered by again snow or fog. It also look like in white color. Yes, that is a challenge here. That is an interesting problem here. That's what the complexity here. Just we have done some work here. You just see this is actually just we got an major revision. Just we submitted back. I don't want to explain how we solve the problem. Just I am trying to motivate you. This is the way one problem is there, and this is the way we have proposed solution. So this is the rotation invariant angle density based features for ice and ice image classification. See, just we got major revision. Of course, we've already submitted back to the journal after revising this paper, after addressing the comments. Okay. Yes, I don't want to scroll down because I'm sure it will take too much time to explain. I don't want to explain the whole methodology because it will take time. Every paper probably requires 1 hour time for me to explain. I think it's not necessary because our focus is not that one. Okay, next problem. See, body generation using, this is actually crime application, that means a forensic application. So what do you mean by that? Nowadays you can see the people sometimes cut their head and throw body, or maybe throw face, and they keep only body info body after killing the people. Yeah, you can see a lot of cases like this in crime cases. Just I was thinking that because our human body is something like in structure. So just with the help of any part of the body, we should be able to reconstruct the whole body shape. Is it possible? That means what is the problem here? If you take face as input, then you should be able to generate the whole body, or maybe any part of the body, maybe some just hand or just leg or just body portion. So you should be able to reconstruct the whole body, human structure, human body information. It is possible, but I'm sure it is possible because the whole body is actually structured. Everything is correlated. Every parts has its own correlation, its own relationship, its own spatial relationship, or its own relationship. Yeah. So we have to establish that kind of relationship to define body parts with the help of just a single part. Maybe from the face, can we generate a body? With a body, can we generate a face? Or maybe with a leg, can we generate another leg? With just one hand, can we generate another hand? Yes, it is possible. You just look at one example I'm telling. I think maybe I can share this information, very interesting information, why I thought this problem is really solvable, and it's you can find a solution. Is just you imagine how the Tyler. I think Tyler is a very good, very interesting idea. You just go to the Tyler. Probably, if you go to the Tyler regularly, then you will not take in all kinds of measurement. You just take in a few measurements, then you will write everything. With few measurement, you will write everything. How it is possible? Of course, nowadays nobody goes to the tailor to stitch your dresses, but yes, that's what you can see. So if you just go to the tailor, yeah, you will get a lot of information. Tailor automatically just probably takes in one shoulder measurement. With the shoulder, you can write everything about your body and your even trouser also. How it is possible? See, tailor can estimate, simulate your body with the help of just a few measurement. Why not for you? So I just, of course, I did some exercise, and I did some experiments also. So how these tailors can simulate measurements. Actually, when we contacted the tailor, he told me very clearly the distance between year to year, right? Year to year, twice of distance between year to year is shoulder distance. You remember this point? So that means if you know the face, from the face, yes, you can easily get the location of, easily we can locate the year. You know the year now, both year you know, now you distance between the year. So when you know the distance between the year, then automatically twice of this distance is nothing but a what? Shoulder distance. Okay, now you got into the body now. Now you are at the body now. From the shoulder, easily we can understand what is the measurement for your body and even hand also, like this. See, that's what I am saying. If you get one small information about your body, automatically you can generate complete whole body. So is it possible? I don't think any paper on this one. Maybe I have seen paper on cloth estimation, cloth dressing also, automatic stitching dresses. I have seen papers, but not like in take face as input and generate a whole body, or take one part of the body and generate a whole structure of the body. I don't see any paper on that. Yes, yeah, you can see a lot of face recognition papers, even gesture recognition, even gait recognition, everything is there, action recognition. But I don't see any paper like generating a whole body with the face information. So this is also another application, another problem. Of course, this is actually collaboration with Norway. This is a very big project because that one is actually European project. So yeah, since now this is the trend now. If something is related to social media, then of course we'll get approval and we'll get an acceptance. Otherwise, we cannot survive. We cannot get any approval. We cannot get our project. So yeah, now this is also another application where you can see sexual abuse, bullying, threatening. Now it is a big issue now. So look at in the social media, probably Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp. Yeah, sometimes you can see a lot of unwanted information. So can we filter out? Can we filter? Can we remove? Can we identify? Again, it's not so easy. Now, of course, in this paper, in this work, in this project, we are trying to go with the multimodal things, not just image, not just video, not just text information, even video, audio. We are trying to collect even profile information, text information. Yeah, like this, and we are trying to go with the multimodal things. That's what our idea here. Of course, if we just to say only image processing or something, then nobody appreciate your work. Now I think if you want really good paper and good work, yes, it should be appreciable. Then you always try to think how you can bring any interdisciplinary or multimodal, something like this. That's what my experience. This is another problem. Again, this is also a new problem. Text detection recognition and recaptured images. What do you mean by recaptured? It is something like in a pirated video, or maybe you're capturing your own your screen. That's also recaptured. And maybe sometimes you can see, okay, when you see some address, automatically you show your mobile only. Okay, WhatsApp. Okay, look at this one. There's address here. Of course, now nobody writes now. So nobody use pen to write anything now. So nobody use even pad also and document also. Again, they will take their own their camera to capture it. So that is the way it is a recaptured images. So that means when you are capturing, especially when you're going outside, you can see a lot of advertisements and digital advertisements. When you see digital advertisements, you can, some people capture sitting in the car. So when you are capturing outside advertisement sitting in car, you look at the complexity now. So there will be a glass in between, and there will be some distance also. There will be an angle also, because advertisement is actually on top. But now you are capturing from this angle. So when you have this kind of information, so it will be a lot of challenges and a lot of difficulties now. That is where this problem looks something different from existing problems. That's what my job to justify. Okay. Of course, very interesting is here. So pirated one. If you want to connect this one as a new application, forensic application, then we can see it's a pirated video. So if it is a pirated video, of course, now my role is to, because since my field is text detection recognition, now we can start thinking, if it is a pirated video or recaptured, then how you can detect and recognize the text information, because this is actually very poor resolution. That's another another cause here. Low resolution, probably dark. It will be dark sometimes. So when you have this kind of situation, when you have this kind of images, then how we can detect and recognize the text successfully? Not so easy. This is another problem. So this is calligraphic, Arabic text. How we can detect and recognize this one? This is very common in Malaysia. Even in India also. I've seen especially when you go to heritage building or some mosque. You can find these kind of things. I think you people know very well. So for you, yes, probably yes, you can understand something. But for me, it is very tough job. Even I cannot say it is a text information. So that is my first job. How I can say this is a text first. I need to say first it is a text. Then you start thinking how we can recognize it, how we can detect it. It is not so easy. Look at this image. Actually, this is because of the grid and because of the grill. Now, what I can say this one, it is not so easy. Backside there is something here. It is really tough job. So this is a new problem. And of course, if you find a solution to this problem, it will be fantastic. And if you go to any heritage mosque, something, automatically you can understand. Oh, okay, this is what the meaning. So now, yes, without the knowledge of this Arabic and this calligraphic, you cannot understand anything now. That is advantage. Okay. This is one more. Of course, so text detection. See, I am continuously showing many challenges on text detection. Now you just focus on. See, nobody changed the field actually. If you keep changing the field, then you will lose your recognition and your identity. I think no researchers will do like this. So we have to survive in our own field only. Otherwise, whatever you achieved, that will go waste. So that is what every researcher thinks. So it's something like in a competition. It's all survival. Survival. Okay. So see, I am trying to find all the time new problem in my own area only. It is not that then I should change the area. So my text detection is my area. I am trying to find all the time new problems here. See, text detection in marathon and sports. This again challenging. It's not so easy to detect the text in the marathon and sports. See, look at this one. This is the small information. So how we can say, and the problem is actually the cloth. The cloth definitely can see some fold and something like a blur also, overlapping also, and this information probably very small information, not like in big information and full information. Maybe it looks like a very small information. With the small information, you need to develop algorithm and detect and recognize. It's not so easy. So look at this paper. Just we have already got acceptance and acceptance. Yes, I think this one is responses. I'll come back to this paper. There is a very interesting story behind this paper. So I'll come back to that one. Just anyway, you look at this. See, new unified method for detecting a text from marathon runners and sports player. This is the title. So we have solved this problem. So now another challenge. See, text detection recognition in the CCTV night footage. See, when there is a night, dark, then again, see, problem is same. What I am doing here, I am trying to change the situation, trying to find a new applications here. Text reduction, the area is the same, problem is same, but for the same problem, I am trying to find new applications and connecting to new applications now. See, now it's totally different application now. It's not something like in a day image, it's a night image now. So in the night image, definitely it is not so easy to detect and recognize the text information. Now I am trying to say that this is really challenging now. We cannot, when you compare with the existing methods, which developed for day image, yes, definitely those methods fail here. See, just we got a major revision. This is actually TMM. TMM means IEEE transactions on multimedia journal. So we got major revision. We have already revised and submitted back. This is a new paper, arbitrarily oriented text reduction in low light and natural scene images. See how I propose, how I found it is a new problem. Of course, once I know it is a new problem, then definitely there will be some new method. New method means there will be some contribution because it's a new problem. When it is a new problem, we cannot propose the old methodology, right? Because it's a new problem, new requirement. Even if you choose a old methodology, you have to modify the method. We cannot straight away apply the same method on the problem. So that's what I'm saying, that if I try to find a new problem, new application, once you choose a new problem, then even you can use existing method. Definitely you should make some changes to that. Unless you make some changes, we cannot directly find solution, but directly you cannot find directly solution with the same methodology, existing methodology. Yeah, tracking. I tell you, this again biggest challenge. So tracking is why it is a challenge. I tell you, the main problem is, of course, this is actually one stadium, right? In this stadium, in which you can see there will be a lot of cameras here. That is the main problem here. See, this guy is going near to this camera, this camera, this camera. Okay, when multiple camera capture same image or different content, then it will be difficult now, because sometimes this guy when this guy is near to this camera, then it looks something bright and big text and big information, something in content is more. Then of course when he's far from the camera, then you will lose some information. See, now how you can combine information given by multiple camera, that itself an interesting problem. And of course the tracking is always challenging, because what is the problem in tracking? Sometimes you can see the text or object, it will disappear, suddenly it will disappear, suddenly it will appear, and again the shape also changes here. And shape, actually that's what the problem with the tracking here. You have to remember here, if there is a tracking problem, so shape, we cannot depend on the shape, we cannot depend on all the time it will be in the same position, because the moments will be there, it is moving, and we don't know the speed, we don't know the velocity, we don't know the direction. See, this is the challenge here. It is not so easy to track or trace the person. Okay, this is this is something related to night image, text reduction light image. This is actually, because I am actually consultant for Mimos. Yes, I think you know Mimos in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur. Yeah, they have very big project on license plate detection and recognition. Actually, I am consultant. The main problem here is, actually, see, this is the headlight. Because of this headlight, how you can locate this text information? Even I cannot read license plate here, number plate here. But yeah, this is the problem. Because of the headlight light effect, we call actually illumination effect. So when you have illumination effect, how we can detect license plate and recognize? So this one, actually we started this work. See, this is also actually new work. We just got major revision, and again we submitted back. So new augmentation based method for text detection and in night, day and license plate images. See, so that means here, what is the challenge here? The challenge actually illumination. If you are good in mathematics, and if you want to bring some mathematics and the theory, yes, definitely one can think how we can balance this light and street light and this illumination. So somehow if you balance this illumination effect, then probably you can get this information. Of course, we have our own idea of solving this problem. That's what this paper says. So anyway, for you, this is another challenge. So text reduction and recognition 3D. Yeah, that's what I think. Probably now what you are seeing, so smart TV, of course it is a 2D now. Maybe I am sure in a few years, yeah, you will see 3D TV where you don't need any spec, or you don't have to wear spec to watch 3D movie or 3D TV. So definitely in soon, because I know many people are working on that. So soon you can see 3D TV, 3D movie, everything. So you don't have to wear any spec now. So, at present, yes, if you want to watch 3D movie, you have to wear a spec now. So I think in future you don't have to wear anything. You just go like your naked eyes. Okay. Just we started. This is actually one conference work, shadow detection, depth, or something. Yeah, this is a very simple conference work. But now we are trying to extend this work for journal. So that means in text reduction and recognition in the 3D video. Yes, definitely it is a really challenging. Why? Because of, if it is a 3D video or image, there will be some shadow information. Because of the shadow information, yes, you will lose shape of the characters, and probably even you will get some background information also. So this is where the problem lies, complexity lies here. Okay. And this is another one. Again, it is a memos problem. Now see, I'm trying to explain, see something, how I'm going in a text reduction only. See, this is now actually drone images. So far we are trying to capture images orthogonally. That means in straight head, right? Straight to head. But now if you're capturing from the top distance and height distance, then how? That means from the drones. Yeah, this is totally different problem now, because you are capturing from the height distance. So height distance also matters, the angle also matters. Yeah, many things here. And of course, when you are going for a height distance, then you are increasing the distance, then obviously you are losing information. And of course, in actually why we thought this problem, that is a very interesting story. Actually, for me, they have assigned this problem. They want to identify illegal parking, the car which park illegally in car park. So how we can identify this? Actually, the parking parking slot only, parking lot, this one. Yeah, there will be many cars now. So when you capture from the height, then it's not so easy to detect that detect and license plate. That means it is not so easy to locate license plate information. Why? Because you are capturing from this one, and the angle is also different. So this is actually totally different problem compared to existing work. Okay, just this one actually we have submitted now. Text reduction in the drone images. Just submitted to ACM Multimedia. I don't know. It's a very top conference in multimedia. So I don't know what will happen. Anyway, we'll just we're waiting for the result. Okay. Yeah, that's the one. And next, gender identification. This is also interesting field. If you want to identify the gender, this is actually forensic application. So if you want to separate a male and female, if you want to identify, okay, a crime done by male or female, yes, with handwriting you can say is a male and female. Yes, we have published a few papers. Anyway, not necessary to show every papers because it will take too much time. And age estimation using handwriting, this is possible. You just ask yourself a question. So can you estimate a age of the person by looking at a handwriting? Yes, it is possible, because as age passes, definitely handwriting also changes. So we need to capture such changes in handwriting. So then easily we can identify. Of course, we have already done some work, see age estimation using disconnected features. So this already published paper in one of the conference. Yes, that means what I'm saying is also very interesting problem. It is again a crime application, forensic application. So ethnicity, maybe this is also a very interesting problem. By looking at a handwriting, is it possible to say that he is from this country, he is from this Bangla, he is from China, he is from Malaysia? Is it possible? Yes, we have done some work on, yes, handwriting analysis, ethnicity, nationality identification. See, Bangladesh, China, and India, and Malaysia, and Iran. We have taken in 5 classes. Now we can extend for any number of classes also, and different countries also. And yes, it is again crime application and forensic application. Okay, so this is also one more application I'm trying to share here. Yes, this is yeah. Do you know what is the idea here? Idea is very simple. If you just see, I tell you what is happening. I think you look at the Chinese, especially Chinese. See how they write in the Chinese characters. Yeah, I think everyone knows very well. They go with the boxes, right? Boxes, and inside many components. One component, within that we can see subcomponents. It's all boxes, like in vertical and horizontal strokes. But when you ask them to write English, there will be a different thing. So that means when we ask them to write English, yes, there will be some reflections, because they go with so many strokes. But if you look at an Indian script, most of the Indian scripts are cursive. So when you write cursive, that means I am used to write all the time in cursive characters. If you ask me to write English, then there will be some reflections, because my habit is to write in a cursive character. So when I write English, then yes, there will be some changes. That is the idea. That is the idea behind. Okay, So this is actually state level. That's what our target now. So in India, because we can see 25 language and 25 script. So we are trying to say, oh, this is written by this state, or this province, something like this. Okay, we are trying to focus on India. So this is also possible, normal and abnormal. So can we say, when you see the handwriting, automatically you can say that, oh, this guy is normal, is nervous, is something like this. Yes, it is possible. Okay. This is also another problem, descriptive answer evaluation. That means now we can see system for evaluating objective type questions, right? Objective type means multiple choice. But yes, is there any way to evaluate answer script here? So this is also a very interesting problem. And of course, we cannot see any papers on this one. There are a lot of challenges here, because one question can have how many answers, how many types of summaries and answers written by the students. So each student write in different way. So when you have this kind of situations, how we can evaluate automatically? That means you need to give a grade for descriptive answer. So how you can give automatically? Just we started one work. This is actually published in one conference. So we just, because it's a very big project, it's not in a simple project. So we started just working on this one. So yes, yeah, one or two students are working on this one. Yeah, this is actually forged document identification. That means nowadays you can see any property document or bank document, insurance document, it's all PDF documents only. Property document, especially property document. If you change just name, then of course it can do anything. So it can happen anything now. So how we can identify forged? This one just we recently we got paper in one of the conference. Just we did something new method for detecting altered text in document images. This is actually a PDF document. If something you changed here, yes, of course I can explain what is the idea and everything here. Of course, idea is very simple. When you make some changes with some operations, there will be some distortions. So any forgery, any operations, if you perform any operations over the document, on document or anything, there will be some distortions. That means operation introduces some distortion. If there are some distortions, then we can expect some abrupt changes, some sudden changes, inconsistency. So when you see this kind of inconsistency or some pattern, abrupt pattern and sudden change, yes, that is the indication of there is a forgery. Okay, yeah. I think I'm spending too much time here. I don't know. Yeah, this is my problem. Okay, this is another again a forgery. This is actually IME number deduction. So this is actually big scam in India. So yeah, we started how we can publish, how we can solve this problem. So that means IME number, we need to say that is a forgery number. Okay, just we have done some work on that. Is already published number. Okay, now this is another one. Again, it is a forensic application, group and crowd classification. It is not so easy. First of all, we need to know what do you mean by group and what do you mean by crowd. Then again, how to identify or classify the group. It is not so easy. And this is actually, again, I'm telling, this is actually open issue, photographer identification. So can we say, that means in a photographer, right? By looking at an image, can we say this photo is captured by this person? Of course, here we are focusing on a professional photographer, not a non-professional photographer. So of course, we cannot see even a single paper. Just I have seen only one paper on this, 2016. Yeah, when I saw that paper, immediately we started thinking, our group and our team started thinking, okay, why don't you do some work on this one? So recently we have done some work on that. It is really, really very challenging, photographer identification. Just we have submitted this work. Of course, we don't know the result, we don't know the feedback. So just submitted. So we have proposed something here to solve the problem. Yeah, this is again forged handwriting things. If we change something writing here, how we can identify? This is also we just submitted now. This is also submitted to one IEEE transactions. So we have done some work, and yes, again we don't know the result. We'll see what happens. So just we have done some work. Yeah, this again Malaysia. This is also industrial problem. So tower height estimation. So I think in tower company, what is happening when there is something defect here, when something goes wrong with the tower, then they're sending the person to check what is the defect here. So that is really expensive for them, because there will be 10,000 towers in one area sometimes. So they want to make it automatic. So for that, they have assigned this problem to us. Okay, we need to identify the defect automatically. Of course, how we can detect automatically? Let us say drone send information to us. Drone capture these towers. That means in drone capture so many towers. Automatically, drone send all streams to us. or video, of course drone will go 360 degree, it will cover in a 360 video, so 360 degree video. Then yes, we need to somehow find a defect by analyzing the whole video. Once we know the defect, then yes, company send person to repair the defect. That's what an idea. It's not so really easy. It's a very tough job. And I think it's also very interesting. Now we started this one palm tree counting. Yeah, I think it's not so easy to how we can count how many palm trees are there. So where is a palm tree here? When palm tree mix with so many other trees and maybe coconut tree, banana tree, or maybe some other plants like this in a greenery and some other background information. So it is not so easy. Just we started this one. Of course, probably in a few months, we will find some solution to this problem. So like this, we can see some other applications also. Can we save life of people from the building collapses? Still, yes, every day we can read some papers, but it's a really, really tough job. Can we identify dead body in the deep water? That's what even I remember all the time, this our Malaysian Airlines, what happened. Yeah, nobody knows what happened, how all people disappeared and how, yeah, nobody knows. Even we cannot find a body also. So yeah, can you think something to that? How animals communicate each other? As I mentioned in the beginning, elephant, now how they communicate each other. Like this, you can see different animals have different communications. So they have their own its own communications. So if you really go through all animals' behavior, you will get a lot of ideas and fantastic, fabulous ideas actually. So that's actually my suggestion. Can we identify the living animal in the thick forest? That's also still is a problem. I think, can we transfer power energy? Yes, it is done. I think now I can see some without wire we can charge your battery. So can we find a new media? That's again a question mark. Can we design a vehicle like jump like a frog? Yes, all the time we think in so many things. Can we make it something like in whenever you want to jump, yes, vehicle should jump like in a frog, then it should go. That means when there is a smooth and soft road, then you should go and gain energy. When there is something obstacle, when there is something like in a puddle and other things, you just jump it. So like this, can we think an unmanned warship? Yes, it is possible now. I think many countries are thinking now. Can we train virus and bacteria like animals and dog? Who knows? Can we? Yeah, it is invisible, but yes, there is a way to train a bacteria and virus. So because it is also cell, it is also it also has some life. So can you train? So I don't know. So anything related to space, yes, it should be a good problem. Anything related to drones, it is a good problem. Can we use drones, human transportation like taxi? Yes, definitely we can see. Soon we can see something. And space shuttle like in flights. Probably yes, who knows? Next generation, there won't be any flight. There will be all the time we can see some space shuttle also. So yeah, I think I remember I read in one article, Australian guy, he has already shown direction. He has already found, he has already discovered, okay, space can carry people like this. So of course now I think he's trying to land on ocean. So from this ocean to that ocean, it is like a space. It will not like it will not fly like a flight. It will go like a shuttle. That means in just a few hours you will be in Australia, you will be in America, and you will be in something like this. Okay, that's first topic. Okay, yeah. Before going to the next, probably if you have any queries, you can ask me before going to the next topic. If you want to ask any questions. So regarding how to choose a problem. Hello, are you hearing me? It's okay, right? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, Dr. Shiva, I think
after Prof.
Yeah. So maybe we can continue.
Oh, okay, right. So okay. No questions, right? Maybe we can have questions at the end. Okay. Yeah. Okay, fine. Okay, next topic, tips for generating ideas. Now, okay, this is a very interesting problem, very interesting topic. So, okay, now so far you understood then how to decide a problem. So, did you get some idea now? So, just you need to remember here, find a new application. Once you know the new application, automatically you can see new requirement according to your expertise. That's all simple, my suggestion. Okay. So no need to remember everything, no need to remember all my problems and solution, not necessary. It is all just motivation, but you have to remember, if you want to define a new problem, you just find new application. Okay, once you know the new application, that then you start thinking according to your expertise what kind of challenge you can take it. Okay, that's a simple thing. Okay, that's a conclusion. Now go for this one, how to generate ideas. Yeah, for me, there are two ways. One way is actual observation. In our image processing, of course, without observation, we cannot do anything. What is image? Whatever we see in the image, that's what the image, right? So if you don't see anything in the image, of course, then we cannot do anything. Then there is no image processing at all. That is a simple. That means what I am saying here, so observation is very important. First, when you see the problem, of course, in our case, images are input or videos are input now. So you need to understand now, we need to observe carefully every image and every video first. So yeah, I have seen many people, okay, there is some data set, some standard data set. You just, what you can do, you just, without looking at the images, without looking at the data set, you just run something to get result, right? That's what many times we have seen. That is actually wrong. We should not do that one. Even if it is a data set of million images, yes, you should look into the data set. You should spend time. Why I am telling? If you look at the data, if you look at the images, then you can easily understand that what is the complexity of the problem. That is number one. And before that, you will get, once you understand, see, you are trying to understand the problem in the sense what? By default, you are trying to find some clues also. So that means at the same time, you are getting some idea. So what is my point here? Okay, if you take one example, that in my case, actually text detection recognition, of course, if you take any image with the text information, what is my observation? All the time I should think how I can differentiate text pixels from background pixels. Of course, when I look at the image, I need to observe first how I can differentiate what kind of properties which represent or that represent the text information, what kind of characteristics or properties or features which represent background information. If I don't see the difference from my eyes, then it is impossible for you to think any idea or any methodology. So what my point here is very clear. First, you need to understand the input information. So observation is very important. So another thing I am telling, if you observe properly and if you are able to understand, this is where there is a difference here. See, text looks in this way, background looks in this way, appears in this way. Maybe, yeah, that will be the fantastic and good idea to start your research work. Why? Because that is your own observation. When it is your own observation, it will be new idea. It will be your own idea. It will be your own algorithm. So assume that when you are going through some paper, then you are trying to copy his observation. That is not a good idea. So we cannot ensure that that idea is a good or that idea is really strong. So what my point here, you forget all existing papers and existing work and everything. What you have to see, if you know that this is the problem, this is the input, now just spend time in understanding the problem and looking at the images. You have to understand what kind of things can differentiate, what kind of things can classify, what kind of things can recognize and detect. So see, every problem, it is a kind of a classification only. It is something like in a differentiation only. You are trying to separate only. You take any problem in image processing, it is actually classification problem. After classification, you start recognizing, identification, detection. Yeah, you will do many things now. That means classification. First, you need to understand that how we can differentiate the thing which is required for you in the image. Okay, so that is my point. Observation means that is my point. Okay, see, maybe in my case, spatial domain for visible, what is the clue? If it is a spatial domain, if it is a frequency domain, see, this is my experience. If I see something in the image very clearly, then I will try to go with the spatial domain techniques. So I don't really prefer a frequency domain based technique. If it is invisible, I know definitely there is some difference, but it is not visible. Then I will just try to choose frequency domain. See how I am choosing the methodology now based on my observation. If I see, that means from my eyes, if I see, yes, this is the difference between this and this, then I just go with the maybe my own methodology or my own way of thinking to solve the problem. If it is invisible, yes, by looking at from our eyes, yes, we cannot differentiate. But we know that when you look at the pixels, when you look at the pixel values, there will be some difference. Then yes, it is better go with the frequency domain techniques. So that is what my point here. So maybe I can show some papers here. This is one problem: separation of graphics and scene text in the video frame. So this is a very old problem, but just I'm trying to explain what is the idea behind. See, look at this one. This is actually graphics text. That means in video we can see two kinds of text. One is graphics, means is actually subtitles. Okay. Another one is actually scene text. That means it is a part of the image. That means in a building name, park name, a street name, something like this. Okay. Now my job is to differentiate this caption text and scene text. How I can differentiate? See, look at this one. Very simple. I'm just giving an idea. Okay, I did not do anything now. See, canny edge image. I think everyone knows. Yeah, those who are working on image processing, they know very well. Canny edge is it's a well-known edge. There are many inbuilt functions also. So just I did what I did here. I did just a small experiment here. So look at the canny edge of this, Sobel edge of this one. Just look at these two edge images now. Okay, forget this one. This one is not necessary. Now, look at this one. This is a canny and Sobel now. This is actually scene text. This is actually graphics text. See here, look at the canny and Sobel now. Both look same, right? Both you can see good information in both the edge image. Now look at here. See now what is happening here. Canny gives some information, but Sobel gives nothing. So that means we lost information. That is enough for me to understand. Oh, this is where there is a difference now. See, that is a clue now. That is the idea now. That is the basis now. See now. So if you want to classify, this is a scene text, this is a caption text. Now I just compare these two things. Of course, I have used some methodology here. That is up to you. But what is very important? Important is idea, clue, because based on that only your algorithm works. And that is the only one way of justifying your idea. If you just show this kind of clues and ideas, then easily reader can understand easily, and even you can justify this is the basis. If the reader understands this idea, then he will not check your algorithm at all. You will not even suspect anything. Automatically can understand that yes, definitely this algorithm works, or this method works, the proposed method works. Okay. So that means what I'm saying, see, just look at when you compare these two, there is something in a similarity, but here there is no similarity. There is no similarity. Now you can find your own way of solving this problem, or your own way of extracting this observation. That is the one idea. Okay, like this I can show a lot of things, not just in one. This actually tampered features for scene. Again, it is a scene and caption text classification. See, I don't know what is the idea here. Yeah, maybe see, look at this one. See, this is actually caption, this is a scene. I've already explained what I mean by caption and scene text. Scene text is actually part of the image. That means here, in case of scene text, we cannot predict the nature of the text information because it's a part of the image. So it behaves like it behaves according to the image nature. But this is a caption text, it is actually edited text. That means we edit, because the subtitle means we are editing over the video on video information. So since it is a edited text, so definitely we can expect good contrast, good clarity. But here, yes, we cannot. See, look at this one. This is actually DCT coefficients. So this is actually tampered information. I am trying to say this is a forged text. A caption text is nothing but a forged text. Why? Because this is the edited text information. This is actually original image. So this is actually original. This is for me tampered information. How we can extract something is tampered here? Because this is the edited text. Once you edit something, yes, definitely it will be tampered information now. See, look at these coefficients now, DCT coefficients. What is happening? Look at the distribution here. See, this distribution is different, this distribution is different. If it is an original image, you can see some zero coefficients. Yeah, zero coefficients more towards this corner. But here, yes, scattered. See, that is the idea. That is the idea. Now you start thinking how we can extract this observation to differentiate caption and syntax classification. Okay. Yeah. I know there are many. I don't know if I show all the things, it will take too much time. Yeah, maybe this is another. Look at the title, then I will get idea. Yeah, Fourier coefficient for fraud handwriting document classification. See, yeah, I just used newspaper quote only. Maybe I will read this one. This is actually read over Malaysia only. Yeah, look at this statement. Netherlands technical experts collected a piece of flights and to reconstruct the same flight and shape. This is actually, I think, yeah, we know very well what happened to Malaysian Airlines, right? When it was coming from Netherlands to Malaysia, yeah, Kuala Lumpur. Yeah, it is the same example. What they did actually, this is when I was reading the paper, I was thinking that, see, that was a fantastic idea. These people actually collected all the information and they went back to the place, and where what they did, they tried to assemble all parts and all the parts collected by them. That means they tried to assembled all the components. After assembling, then they understood that, okay, this is hit by something like this. So that means, so after reconstruction, they understood, okay, this is the force, this is the heat, and this is the place, missile hit or something, I don't know. Anyway, that was that was the statement I was reading in the newspaper. But what I thought, can we use this one as a methodology? I use the same methodology. So that means you just try to split now like this. After splitting, now you are trying to reconstruct, try to combine now. See, same idea. That is the motivation now. That is the idea now. See, of course, we need to justify how this idea works. That is what very interesting in the paper. So now the idea is very simple: positive and negative coefficient. That means, of course, everyone knows Fourier gives in frequency domain. You can see positive and negative coefficients. You are dividing first positive and negative. That means you are classifying or separating positive and negative coefficients. After separating again, you are combining. See, if it is a fraud document, what happens? If it is a original document, what happens? If it is a original document, when you divide and combine, you will get same. If it is a fraud, something has happened, some distortions created by some operations, then there will be a misclassifications in positive and negative coefficients. So when there is a misclassification at this stage, positive and negative coefficients classification, when you reconstruct image, then it will be something different from input image. See, that is the idea. See, what is the motivation here? This is the motivation. This text information is the motivation. I just use this idea with my own methodology part, but idea is, that is the clue, that is the idea now. So okay, I don't want to explain. See, exactly the same thing. See, it is inspired by the incident where one of the Malaysian flight was down in the zone of Ukraine country. Yeah, you know very well this one. I don't have to read this one, but that is the idea. So how I got the idea. So that's what that means. When you are reading a paper, it may not be it is a research paper. Maybe it can be some newspaper also. But yes, your mindset is very important. You just think how, whatever you read, you just keep thinking how I can use, how I can solve the problem. Can I use this idea? Can I use this one? Like this, continuously. When you keep thinking continuously, automatically you will get so many ideas, and of course you can solve the problem. So yeah, this is recently we published. See, this is something totally different. Family and non-family photo classification. See what we did here. Everyone knows. See, what is a family? See, this is a family. This is a non-family. Easily we can notice some difference, right? Family means it is something like a structure. We can see some kind of an hierarchical structure. We can see some kind of maybe trust or maybe some correlation. But in a non-family, like in a friend, you cannot predict anything. You cannot find any correlation. We cannot find any similarity. But in case of family, we can find. This is observation I'm telling here. Observation. So that means you need to observe carefully the images first, because my job is to classify family and non-family. How we can classify? So first we need to observe. Okay, see, family means there's something hierarchical things. Of course, whatever you observe here, that should work for all different family, photos of a different family, and non-family again photos of non-family, because family means it is not just one family. That family class will have many number of images, and you have a many number of images, then yes, you should think. So whatever you observe here, that should be same for all the images of the particular class. That means in this class. See, usually what happens here, some kind of hierarchical structure. Okay, there will be a small guy, and there will be a kids here, there will be parents here, and parents and kids, some kind of similarity, and probably age is another very interesting feature here. Okay, age of the kid, maybe skin, and maybe head information, and dress information. Yeah, like this, so many features you can extract here. Of course, here we use this multimodal concept. Yeah, that's what I'm saying here. Anyway, I don't want to explain what is the method I used here, but what is interesting point here? Observation. So how we can get idea. Okay. So this is actually don't feel bad, but this also just because just research point of view. See, I just classified this another family. So this is actually multicultural family. You can see different culture. So of course in Singapore also I have seen even yeah, everywhere now it's very common now. So can we classify this the non-family, normal family, and multicultural family? Yeah, again it is observation. If it is a normal family, what kind of observation, what kind of features we can what kind of features can identify, what can features identify here, what can features are multicultural here. Multicultural, maybe age is not a very good feature, maybe color is a good feature here, and probably we can find some kind of in a kid's face and a parent's face here. Here kid's face and parent face almost same. Here maybe who knows, kid can share features of both the parents here, but here something different, here of course totally different here. See, that's observation I'm telling, how we can get ideas. Okay, yes, while reading a paper, this is what observation. So what I'm saying here, number one, observation. So this is my point is very clear here. I don't go with this kind of reading a papers here. That's actually not a good idea according to me. My idea is, okay, when you decide this is the problem, now you know the data set, you know the problem, now you spend time, you try to understand. First you observe from your own eyes how you can solve this problem. That is the idea. That should be the original idea also, I tell you. Because when you see some paper and get something, that will be copy. That is actually someone else's idea, not your own idea. So if it is your own idea, yes, definitely your own algorithm will come out. So then you will propose your own algorithm. That is the idea here. That means problem should be new, observation it should be your own. Now you start thinking how you can extract observation using your own method, your own expertise, your own methodology. Then it will be totally different. That's what the full paper, that's what the good paper. Okay, yeah, while reading the papers book related, sometimes yes, of course reading is also very important. Without reading you cannot do anything. So how to apply the concept, what my point here, when you are reading a paper, of course in every paper, look at the paper. Generally before writing algorithmic steps, we write the motivation, we write inspiration. Okay, this is what the base is, or this is what the motivation, or maybe you will try to give some reference. Okay, this is the reference from this paper. Okay, this is the paper motivated us, this is the paper inspired us. So like this there will be something, you have to focus on that point. Don't have to focus on how he solved the problem. You have to focus on just inspiration, the word inspired, the word motivation, the word the basis, the word observation. Of course you take any good journal, before introducing the basis, before writing on what basis proposed method works, yes, nobody will write, nobody will introduce methodology steps or algorithmic steps. So you need to go to the methodology part and just try to understand on what basis he has proposed the methodology. So that you need to just focus on the basis, observation and assumptions, observations and basis and inspired and motivation. So that is the time. Okay, and think at a pixel level. That is another point. Okay, once you understand the problem, now okay, you understood. Okay, this is what observed in the image, right? Now you just look at the pixels now, because in image processing, I think you people know very well how many information we have. See, it's very, see, if you look at a pixel level, for us it looks like a very simple problem. You take any complex problem, but it looks like a very simple. Why? Because image can have, of course it's a pixel, right? Of course maximum what kind of information you can get from the pixel. Okay, pixel value, neighbors, direction, that's all, right? Every pixel, yes, we can expect three informations, right? Okay, pixel value, maybe you can say magnitude, neighbor information and angle information, that is a direction, phase information, that's all. That means what I'm saying here, if you want to observe something different to solve your problem, just look at a pixel level. That means go to the pixel values and see how those values are different from this. Maybe intensity value is different, or maybe angle is different, or maybe neighboring pixels are different. The way the pattern is different, because when you look at the pattern of neighboring pixels, yeah, maybe it will be different. That is what you have to see. If you see this kind of things, then it will be your own idea. your own observation and your own algorithm, your own proposed methodology, and it will be strong evidence for you. It will be strong evidence for you to justify how your proposed method works. Okay, so what I'm saying here, yes, you need to observe, focus on a basis, and not only that, you try to understand pixel nature, pixel values. Okay, and okay, coming back to the reading the paper. So reading the paper, actually, in my suggestion is something like this. If you want to just glance the paper, you can glance it. Okay, if you want to refer this paper for your article, just you glance and refer it. That is one way. If you want to really understand, if you want to really get some idea, then again you read the paper with the intention of understanding the idea. If you want to again implement this one because you feel it is very interesting paper, now if you want to implement this paper, then the way you read the paper is different now. That means what I'm telling here, mindset is very important. You read same paper with a different mindset, different view, different intention, different objective. So if you mind, that means what is my point here, mindset is very important. The same paper, if you read in different mindset, different objective, different intention, then you will get a different information. That is the way. Simply we cannot, of course we cannot, sometimes we cannot understand whole paper. Just forget, not necessary. Of course, how you can understand someone else's paper, it is not so easy, because we cannot be expert in all the fields and all the things. It's impossible for us. But you need to just read with a different perspective, then obviously you'll get a different ideas. Okay, that is another thing. That means it is very simple. See, when you see something, of course for you it looks something different, for another person it looks something different. How it is possible? It is all different mind and different knowledge and different thinking. Exactly the same. You read the same paper with a different mindset. If you want to apply his idea, yes, read with, but before that you just keep in your mind, okay, yes, I need to understand his idea, how he proposed this idea, how he justified this idea. Now you start reading the paper with this mindset. Like this, you need to spend time. Okay, focus on basis. Yeah, I already mentioned this point, inspiration, methodology. Okay, I will just try to share something. So how really I get an ideas to solve my own problems. Okay, I will go with probably, I think those who are teaching image processing, they know very well. This is actually Gonzalez's book. Okay, look at this statement, Laplacian in frequency domain. Okay, it's the same thing. It is in the book only. Of course, it's not in my own thing. It is already in the book. Okay, you take any image processing book, probably you will see this topic. Okay, now see what I did. This is one PAMI paper. PAMI is, I think you people know very well, it is a top journal. So if you publish one paper in PAMI, then yes, you can feel yourself proud. You can know, you should not expect certificate from anybody, not necessary. You just convince your mind that you just proud yourself, yes, I have done something, I have contributed something. That is the meaning of one PAMI paper. Okay, now see what I'm saying here. I will not explain what is the methodology. What I'm saying here, idea. See, because this is image processing book. Every day, of course, we read the book, and when you teach image processing in the class, of course, we read the same topic. But when I was teaching, I did not get anything. But when I started a project, text reduction, I think when I was in NUS, this is the problem I have taken. This is a problem they assigned to me. Okay, when I started thinking how to solve this problem, then yes, we got this idea. Now see, nothing else, the same equations, and of course in different representation, but the same idea we got here. See how we got this idea. Of course, just not this one. That is the main factor here. That is the main factor here. So idea how I got. Okay, I was just teaching the same thing in the class, but I didn't know how to use this one. Of course, when we started working on this project, then I understood that, okay, that idea can bring now. We can bring that idea. See, now this is a fantastic paper now. So how we got idea? And see, try to understand this one. Laplacian, we use Laplacian with frequency, with Fourier transform. That is the idea we proposed here. Okay, Laplacian and Fourier transform we combined. Now look at this one. Sorry. Look at this one. This is not, see, after finishing that work, immediately we started thinking, can we use the same concept using wavelet transform? That's all the idea. See how we get an idea. So earlier, of course, from the book I got some idea. Okay, in the book, okay, there is some concept. I use that. I use the same idea for solving some problem. Now, after finishing that work, because in that work we have combined Laplacian and Fourier transform. Once we combined in this way, immediately one can think, yes, why not Fourier transform, Laplacian and Fourier transform? That is the one more word. This actually TIP, right? Yeah, image processing. It is again very good journal. And look at here. See what we did here. This is Laplacian, of course, without just in Laplacian. This is Laplacian for a transform. That is our earlier paper, Fermi paper. Now Laplacian wavelet. See, now we are trying to show this is very important, because when you are publishing continuously papers on same topic, it is not so easy for you to publish a paper, because people check your background, people check your previous paper. It is very tough job. If someone is publishing many papers on same topic, it's really it's a very tough job for him, because now plagiarism is there. We cannot write the same sentence also. We cannot even take same literature survey also. You have to write again everything new. We have to write something totally new, even if it is the same topic and same work, but you have to write in different way. See now, yes, we have tried, we shown this is actually observation. Now this is what we should understand now. See, this is the one image. This is actually the line. For this line Laplacian without Fourier transform, this is what I am showing here representation. See, profile, that means for every row what is the Laplacian is giving information, and for the same row, see, Laplacian and Fourier, it is something like in profiles like this, and for Laplacian wavelet this is a better profile. That means if you want this paper to be accepted, you need to justify properly with your previous idea. So now this idea is different, this observation is different, this is actual observation, this is what idea I am saying, this is what the basis also. Yeah, this is what a very good example to understand that basis, idea, observation here. So I am trying to show, see, when you combine Laplacian with the wavelet, see, this is the profile. That means what is this profile actually? Why I am saying this is better than this one and better than this one? This is actually something like in a text. Wherever text is there, we can expect some high peaks. When there is no text information, then we can see something flat curve, because that's what we call in valleys. So that means what I'm saying, when there is a edge, you will have a high values, high peaks. When there is no high edge, it is a background now. Of course, that is true in case of any text information, because so text and after the between the line, between the characters, you can see some space, and of course inside the character we can see some background. So because of the background, what happens, we can see high peaks and again flat, again peaks and valleys like this. See, look at this one. It's not so easy to differentiate. There is a character here, there is a background here, but this is very clear. This, and there is a flat, and again, that means compared to this one, this is better. Of course, it's not sufficient, but this is observation. So unless you compare with the previous your idea, then it's not so easy, because this is a just extension of the earlier work. Here we just combined wavelet transform. See how we got idea. This from the book we got something, and from the book we got this one, and from this paper again we got this one. So this is, I don't know what is this one. Wavelet Laplacian without, okay, this segmentation. Maybe just go down. Yes, see, what is maybe this is the idea. See, what is the problem? What is the problem here? The problem is you need to segment the characters or word. Let me characters. Okay, okay, no problem. Okay, now coming back. See, what is your work? You need to segment the characters. How we can segment the characters? See what we did here. What is the idea now? This is the basis. You try to remember. This is observation here. This is not actual proposed methodology. This is actually idea. See what we did. Wavelet transform level 1, level 2, level 3. When you increase number of levels, so what happens? What happens? So see, really you are getting something, blur increases. When you increase number of levels, that means in decomposition levels in wavelet transform, you are getting more blur information. So that means what is happening here? See, that is the idea here. What is the idea? See, when this is a character now, when you increase the number of levels, what happens? This gap between the characters will be closed because of the blur information. Because when there is a sharpness, there will be a blur. When there is an edge, there will be a blur. Slowly, the blur spread. That means it increases. when blur increases from this direction, this gap will be closed. That means character gap will be closed. That means when you are closing the character gap, then the whole word becomes one component. See, that is the idea. See, because we know when you apply wavelet decomposition, when you increase the number of levels, automatically every level introduces some distortions and blur information. Everyone knows that one. Now, how I use that idea for segmenting the word and the character? See, that is a point here. See, you look at this one. Now this becomes a one component. This becomes one component. This becomes one component. Now it is just one word is a one component. Now I segment easily now word. After segmenting the word, of course, there is one more step for character segmentation. That is a different story. But what is observation here? What is the idea here? Idea, of course, everyone knows. Every day you are teaching in image processing. Every day you are talking about an wavelet decomposition. Now you just think how we can bring this concept, how we can use this concept. Okay, that's what the idea. Maybe I will show you. This is actually gradient vector flow. This is a very old paper. You use this one for, I think you people know very well, because if you have a mathematics background, yeah, probably you can easily understand. Anyway, I don't have a mathematics background, but yes, if I see something, I can easily understand how we can use this idea. That's what my strength. So now, when we read this work, gradient vector flow, so just we started thinking, can we use this concept? Okay, from this paper, we got this idea. Now we start thinking how we can apply. See, gradient vector flow and grouping based method for arbitrarily oriented syntax. See, what is the idea here? This is the idea. Maybe is there any? Okay. See, look at this one. See, when you understand the gradient vector flow concept, easily we can understand that this gradient vector flow is nothing but a what? Edges attract this arrow mark. That means arrow pointing towards edges. That is a property. If there is an edge, we can see arrow towards edge point. See, when there is a corner like this, see, that is the idea here. When there is a corner here, we can expect many arrows pointing towards a corner. So if there is a edge here, this is a edge, you can see one arrow like this, one arrow like this. See, this is a very interesting property for me. If there is a edge, easily I can understand that, okay, arrow is like this, arrow is like this. This is the corner, then many arrows pointing towards this one. That is a beautiful idea. That's what we proposed here. So that means I am trying to extract edge information and corner information. So once I know corner information and edge information, that is more than enough for me to detect text information in the image. Okay, this is again CSVT. See, this is a very good journal. Okay, again, you should look at this one. Same GVF concept, new sharpness based approach for character segmentation, license plate images. See, same GVF concept we used for even character segmentation also. See, character segmentation. Where is the figure? Okay. Yeah, see, character segmentation. See how it looks. When there is a space here, character space, you don't see any arrows here. See, you don't see any arrows here. There is a space, there is no arrow. If there is a head, there will be arrow. See, easily we can, this feature is very interesting and very good for segmenting a character. Even if it is a blur, it will work very well. Because even if it is a blur, there will be some edge information. As long as we read the characters, yes, we can get some arrows. See how we applied. See, when we understand the concept of an GVF information, now I am trying to use the same idea for solving different problems. That is what I am trying to say here. See how we are getting the idea. It is not that you are getting an everyday new idea. It is like this. Okay, when you know the concept, when you understand the concept very well, now you should know how we can use the same idea or same concept for solving different problems. See, I did not stop. Again, this is a recent paper. See what we did again. This is actually double line. This is again Mimo's work actually. Yeah, Mimo's work. See, I need to segment this line and this line. How we used. Again, GVF information only. Well, just show. Yeah, look at GVF information. I am trying to use the pattern. I am trying to extract the pattern. What happens between the lines? How this GVF arrow pattern behaves between the line, when there is a space here, when there is a space here. See, this is the pattern. This is something totally different pattern for me. I just try to observe this pattern and I will try to extract it. Okay, Anyway, I don't want to explain methodology part. It is something interesting work also. So we are trying to classify some pixels first, and of course, maybe just I'll show last result. Yeah, we'll segment and like this. This is the horizontal line. First, we'll try to find this kind of pattern, the pattern here. And once you know this is the pattern, then we'll decide, okay, this should be the line, horizontal line. Once you know the horizontal line, then we look for perpendicular line. So of course, before designing a perpendicular line, we'll decide the pattern here. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, see, we can decide. That means what is my point here? GVF information again I use for character segmentation and even line segmentation also. Not only that, you see, this is ACM, is already published one. It's again old one, old paper. See, look at, we used again GVF information for again text. That means you're trying to extract edge information using GVF field. Okay, see here. This is a very interesting observation. Look at this input image, look at this Sobel edge, and look at this canny, and look at this one. See, just I'll try to ask the question here. This is the input image, this is a Sobel, this is a canny. Look, what is the difference between canny and Sobel here? This is what I'm saying in observation. So this is what I'm saying in observation here. So look at this one. What is a common similarity between these two? See, look at the Sobel information and the canny edges. Where there is a text information, Sobel and canny gives exactly the same text information. That means we can find a similarity between the text of canny and text of an Sobel here, but you cannot find similarity between the background information. See, that is what interesting idea here. That idea makes a difference here. That is the reason we got into ACM multimedia. Why? This is a beautiful idea. That means, see, this is the common information now. Of course, it is not just pixel mapping. That is for finding similarity, we brought actually GVF information here. But idea and observation, how we got idea, this is the idea here. See, just what we did. I'm just trying to observe. Okay, what happens? What happens with the Sobel? What happens with the canny? Yeah, canny and Sobel. Oh, something is common. Something is not common. What is common? Oh, text is common here. That is enough for me. Okay, this is the common information. Okay, now see, we got text information. So that is what the text reduction. I need to separate text and non-text. Now we have only text and we have eliminated almost all non-text information. Okay, see, again, I don't know what is this one. Huh? Fourier fraud. Okay, I think this is already done. This is not GVF information. It is idea. I've already explained this idea. Okay, oh, so there are so many. Look at this one. Racing bib number recognition. This is not my paper. This is again one more application and one more idea. So he is trying to solve this problem, right? Racing a bib number. What is a bib number? Bib number is something like the number board, right? So usually they write some number. So for every marathon. See, when I read this paper, automatically I understood that. Then we solved this problem. We identified what are the problems with that existing method. Then we started thinking multimodal approach for bib number detection and recognition. See how we got idea. After reading that paper, then we understood, okay, bib number is it's a different application, number one. Marathon itself a different application, and compared to text reduction in scene images or video images, this is something different. And of course, when you read the paper, we understood that he did not propose. There are some drawbacks. We identified those drawbacks, and then finally we got this paper. Again, see, this is another one. See, new unified detecting a text from marathon runners and sports. Now I'm trying to add more information. That is, I'm trying to increase the complexity of the problem now. So earlier, when we read the paper, only bib number, so that is the initial work. After that, again, we found some drawbacks of the previous method. Then we proposed an algorithm, okay, to overcome the drawbacks of the previous paper. Then, okay, when you were working on previous paper, then we got another idea. Then automatically we understood that, okay, when we had sports, then the complexity of the problem increases. Okay, complexity of the problem increases. So when there is a complexity, then again we need to propose something different method now. Okay, this is what the whole story. See how that means continuous thinking. Not only that, so again, this actually just we submitted. See, when we started working on sports and marathon, immediately we understood that cloth is very good information here. So in this work, actually, we are trying to detect a cloth information. So that means we are focusing on a cloth now. So then once we get in a cloth information, then we'll try to detect a bib number and text information. This is another work. See, initially we started with the bib number. After bib number, we are trying to add some sports images. For sports images, we proposed a multimodal concept. Now this is not multimodal concept. This is actually cloth detection. That means here we proposed cloth detection. Where is the title? Yeah, attention network for human body, cloth detection. That means we are focusing on a cloth. So if there is a cloth, there will be text information. So that is the idea here. So I don't know what happens the result here. And similarly, we can see this is the one paper I was reading. So phase based descriptor. Okay, there is a, yeah, you know, I think even Fourier transform or Fourier transform automatically gives a phase angle, DCT gives a phase angle. So like this, and you are getting the phase angle. Okay. Now when I was reading this paper, this phase angle is derived using Fourier transform. Now you look at this one. Can we use a wavelet transform, phase spectrum using harmonic wavelet? See, now this is a new approach, new idea now. So when you are reading this paper, okay, most of the time we see phase derived using Fourier transform, not with a wavelet transform. Okay, now you start thinking, can we use a wavelet transform using in? Of course, this is also not just a straight away wavelet transform. It's not so easy. We have changed many things to this one, but that's the idea. Okay, another this one. See, look at this one, person re-identification with end-to-end syntax. See, what is his idea? See how he is thinking actually. He is trying to use text detection recognition for person re-identification. Person re-identification, it is a different field and again a different work. But see how he is thinking now, because he knows that there are many methods which detect scene and scene text in the images. So what he did actually, he used detection recognition for person re-identification. So for him, this is totally different work now. So that means for this, it is a contribution now. See, they are trying to use detection recognition for person identification. Okay. See, this is idea. See, this is another one. See, this is another work. See, arbitrarily oriented text detection, low light natural images. I was telling that. See, once we start thinking, automatically you will get in one after the other, automatically you will get in a different problem and different idea. Now we are focusing on low light natural scene images. That means in a low light and night images. Okay, and see, this I've already shown. So family, non-family, and yeah, this also I have shown. Okay, multi-family, and yeah, nationality. Yeah, this I've already shown this one, right? Nationality identification. So what I'm saying here, so idea, how we are getting the idea, nationality identification. Yeah, probably this one. You look at the handwriting now, Bangladesh, Chinese. Yeah, this is what the idea. What I'm saying, you just look at the handwriting written by different people of a different country, of course English, then you will see some difference here. That is what observation, that's what the idea. We have to see observation first. Sorry. So when you see the observation, then you will get some idea how we can extract the work. Okay, now observing input again and again. Yeah, that's what I've already mentioned. So leads to new usual clue, new problem in different perspective. I've already shown this one. So you just try to observe again and again, same images and same data set, until you get some idea, until you see something different. Okay, and sometimes you can see some experiments also. I have shown some example. Okay, do some experiments. So like in wavelet decomposition for blurring information, or maybe applying Canny and Sobel edges on different input images to see how Canny behaves and how Sobel behaves. Okay, those are all what I'm saying, observation based on the experiments, based on the input image. Okay, now okay, focus on limitation. Yeah, this is another idea. See, this is actually Laplacian method on, initially we started with horizontal text detection. That means we are trying to address horizontal line. Okay, now this is actually, see what is happening now, Laplacian upon multi-oriented line. See how we are getting the idea and how we are getting the problem now. Initially we started with horizontal line. Yes, when you are working on horizontal line, yes, automatically you understand the things that horizontal is a simple, but there is a multi-oriented things. So now we address the multi-oriented. Similarly, you can see, okay, it's fine. Now, yeah, this is again, I've already shown this one. So in the previous paper, we used a combination of what is that one? Laplacian and Fourier transform. In this work, we have used, we have explored the combination of first Laplacian and wavelet. Okay, that's the idea. And yeah, okay. Oh, okay. I forgot this one. Yeah, see, when you are working on this problem, we know very well that Laplacian introduces noise. Laplacian is good for enhancing the information. It gives a positive and negative peaks wherever there is a edge, you can expect a positive and negative high peaks. Yes, that is a property. I did not explain what is the property of the Laplacian transform. But anyway, because I don't want to explain, you don't have time. So Laplacian, I think you people know, those who are teaching image processing, yeah, they know very well when you use Laplacian or when you perform Laplacian operation, yes, it introduces some noise information. So of course, after publishing this work or after doing this experiment, then we understood that yes, this is the problem with the Laplacian now. So once we know the Laplacian, see what we did now. Yes, we addressed fractional Poisson enhancement model for text reduction and recognition in video. That means we are trying to see performing Laplacian operation on video is a common technique to improve image contrast and achieve good. Okay, that means here trying to solve the problem of a Laplacian operation. So Laplacian introduces some nice information that we understood after publishing that paper. Okay, so that is the motivation here. So that's what I'm telling. If you think continuously, working continuously, automatically you will get so many things. You know, if you give a break and then a gap, then you cannot find anything. So that is not research at all. Researcher should think in a continuous. Okay, keep thinking in your field only. You cannot be expert in all the fields, just your field only. See, when you were working on that paper, previous paper, we understood that Laplacian introducing a noise, that noise really creating a problem. We understood. Okay, once we understood, then we started thinking, can we remove that noise? See, this is the approach. This is one more paper. This is also, again, it is a very good paper. It's a pattern recognition. It's a very good journal. So yeah, this is what multimodal approach, as I mentioned. So previous paper, and again, this is another paper. Now we are trying to add more complexity. Then we again see, this is actually again same text reduction only. The curved, blurred and non-blurred images. We are trying to see if it is a blur and non-blur. Can we detect text information in both the cases, blurred and non-blurred video? See again, because this will get you will get this one when you work continuously. Again, this is I've already shown this one. Yeah, this I've already shown. That means night images. See, when you are working on blur and non-blur, automatically one can think, why not in night images? Again, this is another interesting. See, sometimes what happens? So, okay, yeah, look at this one. See, because of this in a tree, we are losing text information here. This occlusion. There is occlusion by an object. Because of this tree, we are missing this information. So that is the problem here. So how we can restore it? Yes, it is very simple. For you just to go back to the natural language processing, NLP. Yes, if you give an incomplete information to NLP, automatically NLP predict missing information. See, that is the whole idea. I think just we submitted this work. It is not published yet. Yeah, see what I am showing here. I'm just saying that this is the way you need to find a limitation of an existing methods. So that means once you start doing and working continuously, you will get automatically so many things. Okay. See what is happening now. 3D video. So far I was just talking just 2D video. Definitely, when you are working on 2D video, your mind should think, yes, we should focus on 3D video also. So that is the way. Now it is a new. Again, I've already shown this one. Drone images also. It is again totally different problem from 3D video, even 2D images also. See how we are going now. Yes, this I've already shown. Okay, yeah. Attending conferences. This is also very important. See, self-motivation and self-confidence is, of course, in the research I tell you, you should be mad in believing your idea. If you're listening to another guy, or if you're believing someone else's idea, then of course you will lose your track and you will lose any confidence. So for me, what I'm saying, you should be mad about your idea. You should believe your idea. So when you go to conference, yes, probably you will get a lot of self motivation. What do you mean by self motivation? Self confidence. Assume that you got some paper. You got some paper and you are presenting the paper in the conference. When you are presenting in the conference, That means what? There will be so many experts in your field. When you present in front of those people, then you feel yourself in a proud. That is the motivation you should get. No supervisor boost your confidence. No supervisor help you to get in work and do work. So you need to attend the conferences, whether it is a big conference, small conference, local conference, international conference, doesn't matter. You go to the conference, present your paper. After presenting a paper, then you see how your mind thinks and how do you feel. Yeah, you will be I would say you will be something different person. After attending every conference, you will see something different. It is not that you are getting information from the conference. Nobody, I think in the conference it is a fact, nobody share any information. Of course, in the brochure you can see, oh, this is sharing knowledge, this knowledge, so many statements will be there, but that is not true. I agree, but leave, forget all the things. You just attend the conference, present your work. After presenting work, when you go back to your hotel and room, then you feel something different person. That's what I want. So it is not that you expect your supervisor should appreciate your work. Not necessary. You just go and present the things before the people and experts. So, and meeting different people. So that's what self-confidence is very, very important to get ideas. So without confidence, you cannot get the idea. Okay. So discussion, inspiration, and of course, sometimes we need to, yeah, when you publish, I have seen many students when they publish in good papers in a good journal, yeah, probably they think that they start thinking, oh, yeah, I am great, I did a fantastic work like this. But when they see people in the different experts at the conference, then I don't think any can feel in the same way. Because yeah, when he attend the conference, or when we attend the conference, there will be different people, different experts, where you can see, yeah, big guys, and probably, yeah, they must have published better than what you have published. When you see such people, then you feel you are nothing. I have not done anything. This is also very important for us to keep our confidence and in a continuous, think continuously and sustain in our research, So that means ego should not be there in our research. We always humble. Though is a student is telling something, we should be able to listen to him. Okay, share your idea. That is another thing. So we should share our idea. If you don't share your idea, I don't think you will get a new idea. It is very simple for me. When you lose something, of course, when you are losing something, you know how to get new one. When you don't lose something, then you always think that I have something, I am great. So that will not work in research. So in research, you have to ready for sacrificing, losing. So when you share your idea, then only you will get new idea. So that it is very simple strategy. When you keep saying, okay, I have idea, don't think that someone else used same idea to publish a paper, then what will happen to your idea? It is a waste. So that should not be. Okay. So that is just in a simple ideas. Have a collaboration. That is another point also. You have to have a collaboration. Without collaboration, you cannot bring in so many minds and so many concepts. And yeah, this is another point. Oh, sorry. See, when you struck, you should not step back. That is what the researcher mind. So how we should think actually? Of course, in our research, every step is something like a struggle, because there is a new problem. There is a new idea. We don't know what happens. Yeah, that is what, when you see something is wrong, you should be happy for that. Why? Because now you got a chance. Now there is a scope for contribution. So that is where you should feel. You should not feel that, okay, it is something like a frustration. You should not lose confidence. You should not think that, oh my God, what I'm doing? Oh, I'm not getting any result. You should not lose patience. See, if you start thinking that, okay, this idea doesn't work, okay, you got another idea, again you struck, again you feel that, oh, this idea doesn't work, again you are going back. See what happens? It is something like in a loop. It is a deadlock. So in my opinion, once you start with some idea, you should stick to that. See, you always have to think in your mind. It is not that you should be expert in all the subject and all the topics. Not necessary. You know the input, you know the output, right? You know the target. Now you just think, okay, oh, this is the input, this is the target. Now what should we do to get or reach this target? Just you have to think in this way to solve all kinds of problem. You know the target, you know the input now. Now in between, yes, since you know the target, definitely your mind start thinking how I can reach this target. Okay, that is the way your mindset should be. Otherwise, you cannot. And of course, yeah, this is just I'm telling average student is better for faculty, for our supervisor, for a supervisor. See, if it is intelligent student, I don't believe in intelligent student, because intelligent student never share anything with us, especially supervisor, right? So intelligent student will solve the problem by himself. So he will not share anything. So I don't get anything from him. So generally I prefer an average student. Why? Because average student keep keep sharing his progress and keep discussing with you. Okay, this is what you discussed. Okay, this is what I implemented, this is what I got result, this is what, and right, he keeps coming to us and discussing with us. But intelligent student, he will just solve the problem. Once you give problem, you just show final result. He will not explain complete idea. So that is actually not good for us. That means we don't learn anything from the student. Of course, student gives a lot of information, you have to remember. Yeah, I think being a faculty, we know very well. See, problem is different. When you start implementation, there will be a lot of issues. How we can understand the implementation issues? Unless the students share, you cannot understand implementation issues. And of course, we cannot even justify your idea. Of course, we start with some blind idea, vague idea, some abstract level. After starting implementation, unless student give any inputs, unless students share information, then you cannot get any confidence on your idea. So you cannot confirm your idea. You will lose the confidence on your idea. That should not be. So that's what I am saying. Once start with some idea, let student implement that one. Let student share and give any feedback. Okay, this is what you told. This is what I implemented. This is the fantastic story. If you have this kind of a combination, then I don't think anybody can beat you, and you will lose the confidence and spirit. I think that's all idea. Yes, that's the thing. And maybe now it's a 4:10. I don't know how much time. Maybe I can go fast to finish this one. How to write an Tier 1 article now. Yeah, there are two things here. Yeah, maybe I'll go fast now. Probably I will not take too much time because I've already explained many things. So it's almost to go in the same fashion and the same style. So easily you can catch what I'm going to explain in this. Okay. Now, yeah, some key factors again. So originality, novelty, and addressing. I think Professor Abdullah Ghani knows these things because he has already familiar with these words, because in our faculty also I explained these things. I used in the same key factors. So many times I gave a presentation here to motivate our faculty here. So yeah, even when Professor Abdullah Ghani was there, yes, I gave same topic here. Okay, what do you mean by originality? What is the definition for originality? Of course, there is no definition here. It is all my own experience only. Yes, I kept telling you, you try to observe by yourself to see something unique, so to see something in the image. See, originality, according to me, it should be whatever you see by yourself, that should be the original. That is the only one way to say that it is a new originality. So if you're getting ideas from the paper, something else or someone else, then it cannot be original. So original means it should be by yourself. That means whatever you observe on your own by yourself, that should be the original idea. That's what the originality. So okay, now novelty. Yeah, I think there's a fantastic story for this one. I don't want to share this one because when I was in anyways, yeah, there was a story behind. Yes, we have proposed our own methodologies, so something like a transform. So like a novel ring transform. Of course, our postdoc supervisor did not accept, and finally he accepted. When I got this result from the feedback from the reviewer, then he was really appreciated me. Yeah, because see, we would be happy to publish your work. This is not so easy to get from the reviewers. So anyway, it's a beautiful story. Yes, I remember that. I cannot forget in my life. So what is happening? So that's what original. How we can say it is original? What is the definition for originality? So that means assume that you are observing something in the image. So you got your own observation by looking at the images. It is your own observation. It is not after reading something. It is not after discussing it with someone else. There is no reference at all. For this, there is no reference at all. That's what we have to remember the definition. That means for original thing, there won't be any reference. Okay. Now, what is the novelty? For novelty, according to me, it is something, okay, you are getting idea by referring something. So I have shown so many papers. Okay, when I was reading concept in the book, yes, I got some idea. Okay, that is actually a novel, but it is not original. Original means it should be by yourself. It should be from your own. Okay, it is your own observation. It is your own idea. But novelty, it is not something like your own. It is something like, you are getting idea by referring something here, by referring something. Maybe it is not just in a paper. Maybe assume that you are discussing with your colleague or someone else, you got this idea. Oh, okay, yeah, you told me something like this. Yes, that means for novelty, there is a reference. For original, there is no reference. Okay, if it is a original idea, you should be happy for that. If it is a novel, then you should be very careful because it is someone else's idea. Now you need to, yes, you should be, you should justify clearly how it is novel, in what way it is a different, okay, how it can solve the problem. Yes, that is what things, those things are required to required for a novelty thing. If it is original, I don't think it is required because there is no reference at all. There is no reference. So anyway, this is all yeah, what I'm saying here, if it is, when you have a novelty, when you have observation, if you are really good in a mathematics, now you try to bring mathematics to justify your observation. How we can, whatever you observe, yes, to justify those observations, yes, these observations are correct, work well and valid for different situations and different applications. Yes, you can bring in a mathematics. Of course, if you bring a mathematics, it will be a fantastic idea, because if you bring mathematics, people believe mathematical model work for different things, and it can be generalized. That's the advantage of a mathematical model. If you propose, like, and we are actually computer science people, we don't know mathematical model, we are not in a, because we don't have a mathematics background. So in this case, all the time we are trying to propose algorithms. Algorithm is okay, but thing is, the reader suspects something. Algorithm, it works only for specific things and not like in different applications. So that means we cannot generalize your algorithm. So if we same algorithm, for same algorithm, if you bring mathematics to justify your observation, and then people appreciate, that's what in IEEE transactions paper. So if you want to target IEEE transactions, yes, you need to bring some mathematics. If you really, you are coming from mathematics background, it will be great advantage for you. If you are just computer science, yes, we need to struggle. Okay. Yeah, I think I've already shown this one. Just what is the difference in what do you mean by novelty? Yes, I've already shown this one. See, this from the book, right? Okay, I've already shown this one. This is the Palmy paper. See what is happening now. See, that means it is a novel. I cannot say it is a original because it is already in the book. Okay, see, just one example. Again, this is actually a reference of our previous paper, because in the previous paper we used a combination of Laplacian and Fourier transform. Here we used a combination of Laplacian and Fourier transform. So that is the motivation. That means again it is a novel. Okay. Yeah. Again, it is something actually we have used in a cold feature here. Cold is not our own feature. Cold is actually proposed by someone else for different applications. That is the reason it is a novel. Okay. Yeah. Like this, I can show so many things. And yeah, this is actually ring radius transform. This is what our paper I told you. This is actually our own transform we have proposed here. See, after proposing this transform, see, that is the motivation. See, again, same transform we extended to a different problem. Again, different problem. Again, we use the same transform in different way. Again, same, our transform technique we used for even text detection also. Okay. Again, same transform we used for thinning. See, what you should see here, how I am trying to apply the same concept on different problems. It is my area only, but yes, it's a new ring radius transform for this thinning method. Now I used same transform for thinning also. See, so yeah, this is again we used some text reduction also, same transform we used, and yeah, this is GVF information. Okay. Anyway, that's enough for you. So okay, common points detection. Yeah, that means in GVF information we have explored here. So we look at this. Actually, just recently we got this paper. Yeah, GVF information. See, GVF I have already explained. So gradient vector flow, that concept I'm trying to apply on different situations. Yeah. So addressing it, this is what my point here. In the beginning itself, and I have told very clearly how to choose a new problem. So problem, if it is a new application, I don't mind. I don't worry much. So you have to take in a new problem, and of course, not just new problem. The problem should be very complex. Okay. If it is not a complex problem, then how you can contribution? How we can contribute? So how we can propose something new? So that is what you should keep in your mind. So when you are choosing a problem, it should be complex. So it's not just a simple problem. If you choose a simple problem, then of course, even if you propose a novel method, no use, because people question that one. It's a very simple problem. For simple problem, why did you propose very complex algorithm? Not necessary. Then what is the use? Then no use of your proposed methodology. So that is what I'm saying here. So I believe if you choose a complex problem, definitely it will be a great advantage. If you assume if you choose simple problem, or maybe even though you propose the novel method, yes, it is a very difficult for you to get any publication. If it is a complex problem, assume that you propose existing method, doesn't matter. There is some weightage for that. Why? Because since it is a complex problem, people think that, oh, probably use the existing method, but at least you are trying to show same existing method or concept can be used to solve this complex problem. That makes a difference here. That makes sense here. So that makes people appreciate, that makes people believe your work. Okay, that's what I am saying. I always go with the safer side, choosing a complex problem and a new problem, because see what is happening in the world. Whatever you propose a methodology, yes, you are saying it is a new method, you are saying it is your own method, but how we can confirm that, how we can justify that? So because throughout the world, when you see, it is impossible for you to say that yes, this is the way to justify our method is a new, our method is a novel, our method is original. It's impossible for you. So in this case, at least if problem is very complex, at least people can understand that, okay, this problem is not been solved, so nobody has addressed this problem, it is really challenging. So now, yes, you proposed probably known concept or existing concept. Of course, simply we cannot use the same concept. No, we have to modify because it is a new problem. There are some complexities here. So you need to modify. Of course, you are modifying the existing concept to solve your problem. So then people can understand that though it is a old and existing concept, but with the same concept, he is trying to solve the new complex problem. That is very interesting here. So that is what you are giving in a contribution. That's what you are contributing the things here. So people appreciate. Yes. Now you look at this one. Okay, this is, as I mentioned, this is horizontal text reduction. See, just look at the title only. See now, since it is we are targeting top journal. See now what we did here, multi-oriented. See, I am same text reduction only. I did not change the topic now. I did not change the video application. The video is nothing but application. We did not change, but multi-oriented. See, I have included the word multi-oriented. Multi-oriented indicates this problem is complex now. Okay, now you just look at, see, multi-oriented scene text reduction in a video, and this is a different approach now. Complexity is the same, but a different approach we used. Okay, now here look at the title now, arbitrarily oriented. See how I am increasing the complexity now, and look at this journal also. This is actually CSI IEEE transactions. See, now we are trying to increase the complexity. So previous one multi-oriented, previous one it is horizontal line, multi-oriented, arbitrarily oriented. That means any direction. Okay, see how I am increasing the complexity. Now this is multi-oriented and tracking. See, that's what I am saying. Because when you are not good at mathematics and bringing theory, then this is the one way of getting the good papers and proving that you are doing good work and there is a contribution from your side. Because in my case, I always go with what complex problem like this. Then of course, whatever I propose inside, yes, maybe according to me it is good, but how we can believe that readers accept your idea? So that is a thing here. See, look at the problem now. Multimodal, this is actually application now. We have changed application now. And multimodal concept. See, the multimodal and application is different. This is what, when you compare with the previous one, it is a different now. Again, it is, I'm going with the same. Here, marathon and the sports, I've included again complexity and increased in a complexity here. Because sports, we are adding a sports into marathon. It is not so easy now. Again, yeah, this is a blur and non-blur. Oh, this is actually, oh, not blur. What is this one? Oh, this one, yeah. So blur. See, again, we are trying to increase the complexity. Curved means actually arbitrary orientation. In blur and non-blurred images, that means method should work for both the cases, blurred and non-blurred. It is not that then you should classify blur and non-blur. No, we don't classify. If you give an input blurred image with the text information, yes, our algorithm detects. If it's good images also, it works. See, so then you see, again complexity increases now. low light natural scene images. See, that means what? Now I am trying to focus on low light. Again, I was shown this one. This is actually missing information. See, occluded natural scene. See how I am increasing the complexity now. Again, this is the 3D video. See, the complexity changes now. Drone images. Yes, this complexity changes now. See, that is what. Oh, sorry. That's what the way. Yeah, this is another identify exact new application here, that real world applications. Of course, you need to identify your own application. If you don't highlight your own application, then people think that, oh, this is all old work. That should not be. Okay. Identify in introduction section. Sometimes we write so many applications, it's not good. So it will be setback for you. It will backfire. So because whatever you introduced applications in the introduction section, you should justify in the experimental section. Adaptability, that is another criteria. That means if you have to show some experiments so that one can understand that it is adaptable. Adaptable means for different conditions it should work. Okay, it is not very good image. Even if it is a blur image, it should work. Nice images, it should work. Rotated images, it work. Scaled images, it should work. Okay. So anyway, I don't want to show this one. Maybe it will take time. Applicability. That means applicability means, of course, when the reader read your viewer read in your paper, then you should understand that yes, I can use this concept for solving different problem. Yeah, that is what the contribution again. Simply you are publishing the paper. No, it's not good. So the person, when you read your paper, you should understand that okay, I can use this concept for my problem. So that is what he should get from your paper. If he does not get anything, then it is something like a limited contribution. It works only for particular application, not for many application. It is not that you should solve the problem. No, not necessary. You have to show some illustrations, some experiments to indicate that yes, it can be extendable. It can be used like this. Okay. Yeah, that's what maybe I can show same concept of how I used for different applications. So how? Because yes, we know. And generality, this is another thing. That means, yeah, when you show some illustration in your paper, yes, this concept can be used, generalized. That's also another. Of course, it is not that, and of course, if you keep generalizing your method, then you are solving all the problem. No, that is not the way. What is the point here? Yes, this can be extendable. This can be used for different application. Generalization. That means trying to maybe if you modify your methodology, then yes, it will work for other problem. So future, okay, in your future conclusion and future direction, so one should not say 100%. So that means sometimes I have seen many papers where authors report 100% result. I think how we can accept this kind of things. If you are reporting 100% result in the paper, then you are giving a wrong message to the reader, audience. That means you solve the problem. How we can say we solve the problem? So this is actually meaningless. So we should not. And you have to show some failure cases. As I mentioned earlier, yes, in the beginning itself, you have to show some failure cases. If you don't show failure cases, then reader or viewer or author and people think that you are hiding something. That should not be. So if you show some future direction, that will be good. That means what I'm saying here, so in your paper, you need to say that, okay, yes, some future directions are there. Future work is there. So that means you're indicating, you are showing that, okay, this work is not end. It doesn't end now. So there are so many potentialities. There are so many things to extend. Okay, that is the meaning we should get. Okay, title now. Title, I tell you, writing article is not so easy. You should have some experience. Unless you have experience, I don't think you can really write in a good paper. Of course, you can write it, but getting paper in journal, top journal, really is very tough. So for me, what should be the title? Title should be as decent as possible. Title should not be too long. It should not be lengthy one. It should not contain too many technical words. See, title should contain 3 information. What are the 3 information? It should highlight your application. It should highlight the contribution. It should highlight complexity of the problem. Complexity of the problem. So that means if you know this is the word this is the contribution and this is the word representing your contribution, you should bring one unique word. If you're good in vocabulary and English, yeah, probably you can bring a new word so that people can understand, people can so people can people can understand that, oh, it's something new here, or some new contribution, or new catchy word here. So then you will get some good impression before he reads, and before he start reading the paper, you will get a good impression. So of course, good impression in the beginning is very good. So if you get a bad impression before he read in a paper, before he start reading the paper, then it will be setback for you. So that's actually psychology of the person. Of course, writing paper is nothing but a psychology. That means here, one thing you should remember, before you write a paper, you should think like this. Since it is your work, you all the time thinking that your method is good, and oh, fantastic, something like this. This one you should remove from your mind. You all the time you should think that, okay, you write something, but what about other people? Whatever I write, can it convey meaning, same meaning to the viewer or reader? You have to ask yourself question, what that other person thinks. That is what you should keep in your mind. That means it is not that it is your work and you're writing like anything. No, that will not work in writing. So you have to think, okay, when you write something, you should question yourself. Okay, now you are not an author of your paper now. You are someone else now. So what kind of meaning you are getting now when you read the same sentence written by you? That is the way you need to remember. You need to start your writing a paper. Okay. So title is, you remember very well, three things, three keywords. Title should explain complexity of the problem. Title should explain the contribution of the work. Title should explain application. Okay. Yeah. When you mention these words in the title, of course, you need to justify those words. Simply mentioning some words in the title and in the content, nothing is there. You did not even justify. You did not mention. It's not repeating the same word. You need to justify those words. Okay. So that is what you have to remember here. Maybe I'll just show you. See here. See, tampered. That is the contribution here. Tampered features for scene and caption text classification, it is a problem. So scene and caption text, it is a classification problem. See, title automatically gives information. What? Tampered feature, that is a contribution of this work. And what is the problem here? Scene and caption text classification in video. Video is actually, application. Scene and caption text classification is the problem. Like this, simple title should be there. Title should not contain too many and this one like this. It should not be. It should be as simple as possible. Okay. Now just look at the titles. See, multispectral fusion, arbitrarily oriented. See, multispectral fusion, it is a contribution. Arbitrarily oriented explains complexity of the problem. Scene text detection in video images, it is application now. Scene text detection is a problem. Complexity refers arbitrarily oriented word. Video image, application. See, actually for me this look like a lengthy title, too long, but you should short it. Okay. Now see, new technique, multi-oriented scene text line detection tracking. See here, I did not mention any word which explains contribution. Why? That is very important here, because we are not sure our method, whatever we proposed here, really it is a novel, really it is good contribution. We are not sure. So that means title trying to highlight only the problem and application here. So multi-oriented and the tracking. So that means this title explains, oh, tracking is actually the top problem. Now reviewer or reader get in some curiosity how he is solving the problem. He did not get any idea what kind of method he proposed. He did not get any idea, because we are not sure our method is really something very good. We are not, we don't have much confidence on our methodology part, the contribution part. So we did not mention any word in the title for representing our contribution. See, that is what I am saying in experience. So I think some people write in a title after finishing the draft. That means you finish the whole draft, then you are coming back and just take some time to write in a title. Don't write simply blindly title. Title is very, very important. Why I tell you? See, when you submit a paper, it will go to the chief editor. Chief editor, of course, you will be in a different field. If you cannot expect, and he is in your field, and he is expert in your field, so you cannot expect. So what is happening? So he tries to read title and abstract. So based on the title and abstract, you will find associate editor who is expert in the field. Then you will assign it. Assume the title does not give any meaning or it gives something different, you will assign to someone else who is not at all expert in your field. Then see, imagine what happens. That should not be. So that is of course, that is a one simple tricks I'm telling. What I'm saying, that is a one motivation. But of course, title, what is the actual meaning? Title should represent your whole paper, not like impressing the chief editor or something. That is a different story. That is just to get publication, I was telling. But in general, title should represent the whole your paper. See, contour restoration of text components for recognition and video. See, contour restoration. This is actually not methodology. It is again contour restoration. It is a concept. Text components for recognition. That means here we did not mention any methodology part here. We are just trying to say contour restoration. That means assume that inside we did not propose totally new methodology. Inside we have proposed methodology, modified. That means we proposed modified concept. That means there are already, we have already published another concept, but we are trying to modify those concepts. That's what we are not sure about in contribution. So because that's what we did not mention the methodology or concept used in the paper, we just mentioned contour restoration. So it is actually a problem. Contour restoration is a problem. So text components, it is not actually methodology. It is not the contribution. Okay. See, title is very important. Here, see what I'm saying. New model approach text reduction. This, see, application. See, multimodal is actually the concept. VIP number text reduction, it is application. And no, marathon is application here. So text reduction recognition is a problem. See, automatically can understand, oh, this is something different application. And multimodal, that is a catchy word now. So like this, okay. So that should be the title. Oh, there are so many. Just you look at the title. Okay, marathon runners and sports player. Here also unified method. We just mentioned unified method, and of course problem is there and different applications are there. Okay. Now again I'm repeating the same thing. So that means a blurred and non-blurred. So curve reduction. But here also we did not mention the methodology part. Here also we did not mention any word which represented a contribution of the work. We are just trying to highlight the complexity and application. Okay. Yeah, this is, see, this is actually concept. This is a problem. This is a new application now. See, multi-view application. This is actually totally new application now. So what is the multi-view images in natural scene? See, so far people worked on images capturing orthogonally, and that means in one view. That means they take one view of the spot, scene information. Now here what we are doing, multi-views. That means same spot, for same spot we capture multiple views, different views. So when you have a different views, how you can detect the text information. See, that is a new application, and concept is, of course, it's not a new concept, it's a old concept, but we have modified this concept such that it works well for multi-views natural scene images. See, okay, this is done now. Yeah, this is night, day. See, new augmentation. This is the concept. Okay, augmentation is a catchy word. Text detection, it is a problem. See, night and day. This is the complexity of the problem. License plate images is an application now. Day and night. See, our focus is not just night images, not day images. Your focus is both. That is what then a complexity. Yeah, this one I've already shown. This is occluded. See, here we did not mention what is the method. Okay, text reduction and restoration is a problem. Occluded is a complexity. Natural scene images is application. Okay. Yeah, here you see very simple. Text reduction in 3D video. Here also we did not write the methodology. See, generally I don't write in our papers. We don't mention any word which really represent the contribution of the work. Why? That is the problem here. If you mention any word which really indicates your contribution, it is not so easy to justify. So we should be in safer side. And of course, 3D video, it is enough for them to understand, or reader to understand, oh, it is a different problem. And of course, when he is addressing a 3D video means there will be a lot of issues here. So that means he is trying to solve some new problem. Okay, then he gets in a curiosity how he is solving the problem. He is not worrying about what kind of methodology proposed or whether it is a novel or original. He will not think in that way. He will not go in that angle. He will just trying to think, okay, there is a new application or new problem, how he is using or how he is proposing concept or how he is modifying the concept to solve the problem. It is all psychology, I am telling. It is a mindset of the reader. So you should be very careful. So you should think. See, that's what, again, it is the same. Here also see text reduction drone images. That is enough. This is enough to understand what is the complexity of the problem. And now we are creating a curiosity to the reader. Okay, you should now you should start thinking that, okay, what kind of method, what is the method, how they're solving the problem, okay, what are the challenges when you capture from the drone. Yeah, that is the way. So you should feel good now. See here, this is one I'm trying to share actually. Yeah, look at this one, deep network. Just look at the title, how it is important. I'm just sharing this info. Deep network for text reduction on uniform or just see in sports images. Just remember this one. See what happened. We submitted this to what happened. Oh, sorry. See what happened. Look at this. I am writing you to deep network for text reduction on this one, which you submitted to TIP. The submitted manuscript was reviewed by our editorial board to determine whether it meets standard of okay presentation. Please note that only, okay, that's all fine. What is the comment? Where is the comment? Huh? Okay, yeah, maybe yeah, this next you read this one. The peer review, this one. Regretfully, the review concluded that paper is not suitable for publication in transactions on image processing due to deficiency in the presentation, inadequate, unclear novelty, and mismatch of the focus with the TIP. Specifically, the manuscript has rather verbose and lengthy introductory sections running over 3 pages. See, anyway, what is the problem here? What happened? You look at, go back and see text reduction on uniform and just see what review, what chief editor or an AE thought. The scope is limited now because this is very simple problem. That means they are trying to focus the text on cloth information. Though actually we are solving the sports, it is really very tough problem, but the title gives a wrong message to the reader. That's what I'm saying. So what we did now, of course we cannot submit, we change now hybrid network for text reduction in sports images. So we just removed earlier text reduction on jersey and cloth information, something you mentioned exactly something that is actually wrong. So that means you are trying to indicate that your work is limited to only cloth information. So yes, we removed that one. Now it is too general now. Hybrid network for text reduction sports. That's all. So now this work, this paper, this title indicates that, oh, they are trying to solve some issues of a sports video. Okay, abstract. Okay, abstract should be of course. Yeah, again, abstract should contain 3 things. Motivation, you write 1 or 2 sentences about the motivation. That means, okay, this work is challenging or this is challenging or something. Then you have to write a contribution. So here in abstract, you should not write methodology. You should write a basis and observation of your proposed methodology. And finally, 1 or 2 sentences about evaluation. Okay. Yeah, anyway, I will not show papers. If I start showing the papers, probably it will take too much time. So I need to just, okay, see, abstract should contain very small. 1 sentence about, okay, some challenges, another sentence about your methodology. Of course, here you should not write all the steps of your proposed methodology. You should write the basis and observation or concept, what concept you are proposing here, and then finally some evaluation things. Okay, experimental. That's all. Abstract should be very simple. Introduction. This is very important actually. Introduction, I tell you, here you are trying to introduce a new application here. So in the beginning, as I mentioned, so you should now clearly explain what is a new application here. That means indirectly you are telling that, okay, your work is something new because it is a new application. Since it is a new application, you are trying to address a new challenge here. That means when you are introducing application, you need to highlight what is the problem and what is the challenge. That is very important here. So introduction is something like a motivation. You are trying to motivate, you are trying to justify what is your problem. Okay. So maybe very simple idea. Now it's a new trend now. So what generally we do now, in introduction itself, we are trying to show some results of existing methods. So that means this is actually new trend. This is easy also. So when you see the people, when you see this diagram, automatically you can understand that existing methods fail for these images and a proposed method work for this one. So that means existing method fail here, proposed method works here. So that is the motivation here. So like this, you can take any paper. Probably yes, we'll introduce the existing method, and proposed method. So now this is a new trend now. So earlier we used to write so many things to justify what is the motivation and what is the challenge here, what is the problem here, like this. Now it is very simple. So we are just trying to show some sample results of existing methods and finally proposed method. Then reader can understand without reading the text information. He can understand what is the motivation of the paper. So similarly, you see, so this is the drone image. Okay, this is existing method result. This is our proposed method result. Okay, so like this. That is the way. That means it should be. Introduction is very, very important. So you are trying to bring a new application here. After introducing a new application, so you try to explain what is the new challenge here. Once you confirm what is the new challenge, now you show some evidence or some results by running existing methods on your new data, new images. Okay. So related work. This is actually very tough job. Unless you have experience, it is very difficult for you to write in this section. See, first of all, you don't know how many papers you need to choose. If you have many papers, it is really, really tough job for you. If there are few papers, then it should be easy. If there are no papers, again it is a tough job for you. These are the three cases in a very, very, very tough job. Relevant, first you need to decide what are the relevant papers. Okay, when you are writing a related work, that means an critical analysis of existing work, you need to consider 3 points here. Number one, first you need to write in a 2 sentence about relevancy. That means how this paper is relevant to your work. And another 2 sentence about their method. That means you should not write in their methodology. You should not copy. You should write your own words on what basis or on what concept they propose. Next, another sentence or maybe 1 or 2 sentences about what is the drawback with respect to your problem. So that is what you need to write. Related work means it is not that you should just describe and go. No, that should not be. Okay. So what I'm saying here, very interesting here. So I tell you, related work is very, very important. You are trying to achieve 2 things here. Number one, you are trying to prove that your problem is new. Another point is you are trying to show that whatever you are going to propose in a method, that is something different from existing concept. So that is what the meaning of an whole related work. So that means you are trying to justify. See, introduction section justifies where it can be used. What is the motivation? Okay, what is the application here? Next, related work justifies. It is something like an evidence. You are showing evidence very clearly. Nobody has done this one. This is a new problem or new challenge. At the same time, your methods. Okay, yeah. There are. I can discuss many things if you open in my paper. So I can show many things how I really organize in a related work. So maybe some people go with the year wise, some people go with the concept wise, some people go with the problem. So if my problem is text reduction, then text reduction in a video, then initially I will talk about text reduction natural scene images, then I will come back to the video. Okay. So next, another category, video images. So if it is a marathon or something, then I will finish scene text images, I will finish in video methods, and then I will come back to the last. I will try to discuss marathon images like this. So organization is very, very important. Okay, it's not so easy to organize data set. Okay, now proposed methodology. Of course, I've already shown so many papers here. See, before introducing your algorithmic steps, you should show something very clearly. Yeah, what is the motivation and the basis and observation? That means first you need to write observation. That means you need to write motivation. So inspired by, motivated by, and with some illustrations. I've already shown some, I think something that is very important. Why I tell you? Because nobody can understand your methodology. Nobody can understand your algorithm. Why? Because you don't write in all the details in the paper. Because paper has some limitation. We cannot write in all the things in the paper. We cannot put. Okay, there will be a page number of page restrictions. So generally we don't write in all implementation things in the paper. We just write in abstract level. So how reviewer can understand, how a reader can understand your method really works. So yes, basis is very important. That means if you justify on what basis your methodology works and algorithm works and your proposed an algorithm, that is most important. If the guy understands that basis, then easily he can guess that, oh, this algorithm is good and it will work. Okay. And of course, when you are introducing algorithmic steps, you try to show some illustrations. You don't show one input and final output. That should not be. Nobody believe. Then the people start suspecting, or something is wrong in between. So it is good that you try to show that every steps should have some illustrations. Okay, intermediate results of intermediate steps, that should be there, and try to highlight. Okay, this is the challenge we mentioned in the introduction section. Now we are trying to solve this. This step is actually solving the problem and reducing the complexity of the problem. So like this you should explain, and yeah, probably just see what is I'm saying in a proposal. Yeah, I've already shown this paper. See, this is what, before introducing algorithm and subsections, see, this is what the methodology part. So this is the proposed methodology part I try to explain. Okay, this is the basis, this is the motivation, this is the motivation, how this is different from this one. So that is what then proposed methodology. Then you start writing subsection and algorithms and steps here. And of course every step should have some results like this and in illustrations or results, sample results. Otherwise, yeah, people don't accept your things. And maybe this there are many, I can show many things and like this. You see how we have shown so many. Anyway, it's a very lengthy paper. Okay, evaluation, experimental results. Of course, this is very, very important. Sometimes what happens, okay, whatever you claim your method is good and novel, everything. So, right. So in this case now, experimental result means you need to justify, you need to validate. There are two kinds of results in our case: qualitative results and quantitative results. Qualitative results means you're showing the results. That means a person can understand, see something in the image to understand. Okay, visualization, for visualization. Quantitative means whatever we see in the image, you are trying to justify through quantitative features, statistical measures or quantitative measures. That means, so you're trying to give a quantitative, I mean, statistical measures to justify the information in the image. That means qualitative results. These two are very important. If you don't show this one, then whatever you climb, so in the methodology part or introduction part, yes, there is no meaning. Of course, standard database, of course, if you don't have a standard database, it will be really tough job for evaluation. So standard database, if you don't have, then you should be very careful. So in introducing your data set, you make sure that, okay, how your data set is really complex and how really data set makes difference, how really data set cover all possible cases. If you don't mention, if you don't write in detail data set for your data set, not be. If it is a standard data set, it is fine. So standard data set, when you run and when you show your method is better than existing methods on this standard data set, then it will be good. Then people appreciate this one. Okay, that's what the comparative study is also very important. Of course, if you don't show comparative study with the recent method, then people don't believe, people don't accept your work. So in every paper, you need to compare with the existing methods, and you have to run your method, run it on different data set and the standard data set to show that your method is effective and useful. Okay, yeah, I think yeah, there are so many things I can show in. Yeah, go to the methodology part. See here, yes, I will try to show one paper, experiments on text reduction in drone images. Okay, experimental results. We have introduced data set here, and finally experiments for text reduction drone images. After it's our own data set, it's our own experiments. Then we are trying to say that experiment detection in orthogonal direction. That means 2D images. This is actually 3D images, and no, it's a drone images. This is 2D. This is actually standard data set. See, these are all standard data set now. So of course, some failure cases also. This is a failure cases. Yeah, like this, you need to justify your method. Okay. Conclusion. Yes, conclusion is actually the summary. Of course, here you should not write too many things. You just write and summarize your whole methodology. And future work is very important here. So if you don't mention a future work, as I mentioned earlier, so you are hiding something, number one. That means you don't mention any drawback, you're writing something, number one. So when, of course, you cannot say all the time in good, right? You have to say even both, good also, bad also. So if you say both good and bad, then people appreciate your work. Of course, the meaning is this one. When you show some drawbacks, and of course, when other guy read the paper, automatically can understand that, oh, this is the problem. So that means indirectly the paper contributes to your community. So that is the way. So that's what the future work. So if you don't mention a future work, then it is something people suspect your work. Okay. Of course, in another angle, I tell you another way of thinking. Future work, if you mention, it is something like you are saying that you are giving a message to other colleagues. Okay, it is my work. It is my work because it is my problem. So yes, soon probably you can see one more paper on this problem. And references refer the paper published in the, of course, this is also very important. Though it is a very silly and simple, it is a really, I tell you, it is very important for you. First, if you're targeting some journal, you have to refer some of the papers of the same journal. Assume that you are targeting PR, pattern recognition, you are not at all referring even a single paper of PR journal, then there is no meaning. That means first you need to justify the relevance. How we can justify the relevance of your work to the journal? Yes, you need to refer at least a few papers. Of course, you should not refer very old paper, recent papers. So that is the message you are giving, that yes, your work is relevant to this journal. That is very important. And of course, assume that you are targeting IEEE transaction, but you are referring all the papers from local conference and a low quality paper. That should not be. You are degrading your work. You are degrading your work yourself. You are degrading your work. That should not be. So you are targeting IEEE transactions paper means you try to refer many IEEE transactions paper. Okay, so that should be the relevancy. Top journal should be referred. So writing tips. Okay. Of course, this is all just psychology I am telling. So don't repeat the statements. That should not be. And most of the time we write and we propose, we explore, we introduce, we investigate like this. Nobody write and we have proposed something like this. And yeah, should not be passive. And all the time we should use present tense and active voice. Okay. Yeah, and another thing is strong statement should not be. That's what actually I wanted to discuss with actually related work. So if I start discussing related work, it will take another 1 hour. That is really not so easy to explain how we can write in a literature survey or related work. See, when there is a work, if you make a strong statement about an existing method, assume that your paper goes to the same guy, because you don't know that paper very well, because the guy who published, he knows very well about that paper. So we should not go with a very strong statement. Okay, this method fails. You should not say like this unless you have some justification and some evidence. You just write, okay, may, or maybe you're not. It's not sure it performs well like this. Okay, those are all the tips. Or maybe you're just addressing the reviewer. Just I'll go with it quickly. Yes, if it is accept, no issue. Major revision is the problem. Actually, major revision means in case of IEEE transactions, there is only one time major revision. Assume that you got major revision. After submitting revised copy, again reviewer recommend major revision, it will be by default rejected. So there is no second time major revision in case of IEEE transactions. And now what is happening? Now I think a new thing is once you get in rejection from one IEEE transactions, automatically assume that when you assume that you submit it to another IEEE transaction paper after modifying the things, then immediately after 1 week you will receive one email from the journal where you submitted that, okay, this is already been submitted to this journal. Okay, now you should write clearly justification. That means he will send back to you by asking that what is the justification to submit this journal, because we have found that it is already submitted and rejected from the another IEEE transactions. So now you tell me what modifications you made and why do you submit to this journal now. So unless you write any justification, you will not process your paper. So that is the trend now. So getting paper in IEEE transactions is very tough. So minor revision is no problem. Reject and resubmit. This is actually another issue. Reject and resubmit. It depends on the comments. If you are very confident in modifying and addressing all the comments, then you submit it. Otherwise, you just choose after modifications, you just choose different journal. Okay. If it is appreciation, minor corrections, suggestions, motivation is fine now. So major revision actually the problem. You respect, major revision, this is what you need to remember. When you are addressing the comments, you should think that it is whatever the comments raised by the reviewer, it is for you, not for him. That means he is giving comments and suggestions to improve quality of your paper, not for him. And that means what I'm saying, when there is a comment, you should respect his comment. You should give a value for that one. You should not write, okay, I think the reviewer doesn't know this one. Reviewer did not understand the problem, or reviewer doesn't know anything. You should not. So my problem is this, but he understood something different. No, even though it is wrong, but you should write politely and kindly, and you do some changes to that one. Anyway, he is getting some confusion. Though it is a wrong question, wrong comment, but he is getting that confusion. He is commenting wrongly. That at least there is some confusion, right? Because of the confusion, he is getting this kind of comments. So you should avoid. You should remove that one. So okay, some opportunity. So yeah, that means you should give a respect. If you don't give a respect to comments, then I think after submitting back to the journal, especially major revision, what happens when you submit a revised copy, it will go to the same reviewer. So that reviewer check how you addressed his comments. So when you write in so many things and without making any changes to your paper, oh, then he will write in just one word. So authors did not consider my comment seriously. They don't want to improve their quality of the paper. They are trying to defend their work without thinking of improving the quality of the paper. So I stick to my earlier decision. Finish. It will be rejected. So even if there is a major revision, it can be turned out to be reject. So there are many cases, we have seen many things. So that's what you need to consider in the major revision. Okay. Don't forget to mention, of course, you need to write in a section number. Okay, I don't want to give in all the details now. Second major revision is not allowed. Yeah, that's what I already mentioned. Second major revision is not allowed. Okay, there are high chance of rejection after major revision. After major revision, I tell you, you should be very careful. Sometimes because of the comment, you try to add many things to that. So that sometimes setback for you. When you give more details, probably reviewer thinks that, oh, see, now they mentioned so many thresholds, so many conditions, so many heuristics now. Oh, that means this method is not good at all. This method is not robust at all. So even so, you can change after major revision recommendation. You can change the decision to reject. Okay, so major revision is a really tough job. Minor revision, no problem. I tell you one interesting story here. This is just happened recently. We have submitted one paper for PR. I think this is already shown, this paper. See this letter. It is actually accepted. Look at, thank you for very much, but unfortunately, based on the evaluation, manuscript in the present state is not suitable for publication. Okay, that's the reason. Okay, what is the reason? It is rejected. You see the reason. This paper is 50 pages long. So do not exceed the page limit. So double line spacing, single column with maximum 35 pages. See, we did not notice this constraint. We don't know this requirement. So what happened? See, AE accepted. Actually, paper after minor revision, I am telling, after minor revision, AE, that means area chair accepted, associate area chair also accepted, associate editor is also accepted, because we know the decision. But editor-in-chief rejected this paper. Why? Because number of pages is 50, but it should be 40. See what to do. So finally we got acceptance. This one we are pleased to accept. See, then what we did actually, this is the paper. After acceptance we got rejection. This is very rare. So we have removed all the extra figures. See, this is what the response file. See, AE comments accepted, EIC rejected this paper. See this one. Now response we wrote like this. So we wrote response, ensure that reducing number of pages in the revision does not affect the quality and the novelty of the proposed work. Some other comments, okay, some minor comments. Like this we modified and submitted back. So we got acceptance. Okay. Yeah, read comments is this fine. I already explained these things. Yeah, just some, see, this is the way. It's a PAMI. This is a one paper. What happened? Initially we submitted a PAMI, we got rejection. Okay, then just I'm showing the same paper we submitted to TMM, same paper, it is rejected. And finally we submitted a CSVT. See, it's a major revision now. Okay, now I3 transactions, this is resubmit. See, again resubmit. So that means rejected after submitting a revised copy, he rejected and resubmit. So we have resubmitted, and finally, this is I think finally we got acceptance. Actually, this one. Yeah, one just I'll show you how to write a response. So see, this is the way. Comment 1.1. You just copy exactly the comment. Now you write, thank you very much for like this in responses. Reviewer 2.1. You copy exactly the comments and start writing your responses here. And finally, you mention okay which page and where you made some changes in the main script. And if it is something mistake, apology. And yeah, this is the way you need to address the comments. Okay, for every comment, thank you for giving chance. See, okay, otherwise it's not so easy. Okay, something like this, reject. Okay, see, many times you get rejection. See, reject and resubmit, but you got minor revision. This is actually accepted. Yeah, this is final acceptance. So congratulations. Okay, fine. See what I'm saying. Yeah, like this I can show many papers because it's not so easy to get an acceptance. Okay, I think enough. This is not fine. Nah, finish. Yeah, I think that's all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shiva. That was very detailed and very honest sharing. We have so many examples. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
I hope you don't mind to share the slides. I think they're very, very helpful, all the examples.
Okay, I can send by email.
Yes, please.
Yeah, maybe you just one email to me by asking PPT slides. I will reply. Sure. Generally, I don't remember the things. When I see the email, I will reply.
Okay, I will do that right away. Thank you so much. You are so kind. Okay, so, for some questions and answers from
sure.
Prof.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. Very interesting talk. Is it possible to share the response sample of response? How do we respond to the reviewer comment?
Yeah, I'll send one sample. Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
Thank you.
Anything?
Are there any other questions? Maybe while waiting, I have one very brief question. One of we struggle very much here is the command of the language. So do you extensively use proofreading services, or does your provide some copy editing advice?
No. Actually, I agree this point. Even my English is not very good. Because see, we are not something like in coming from England or maybe any Western countries. Whatever we write, people don't accept in our sentences. I agree this point. So that's what in my case, of course, one way is initially I will just explain my way. Initially what I do, I will write a draft first. I will write everything. The content will be ready now. So flow, content, organization, everything will be ready. Now I will try to send this one to co-author. So assume that he is also not very good in English, but he is good in checking, concept and other things. Okay. So after checking all the concept and then confirming, okay, concept is good and flow is good and everything is included, then I will try to send this one to one more co-author who is very good in English. Not only good in English, he knows even our topic also, he is a collaborator. So I will not go with the English expert. If you go with the English expert and paying some money and proofreading, that will not work for especially research journal. That is okay for report submission or something else, not for research. Especially I tell you, IEEE transactions article, if you go with the proofreading by English expert or something, it will not work. Because the way they think, the sentence is totally different, because I have already experienced this one. So English expert, I have seen many times, they try to change the whole sentence sometimes. But that sentence is totally irrelevant to that work. Again, you need to modify so many times. That means again, you need to change the sentence. See, in writing, I tell you, if you change the one sentence, obviously that will affect all your work. You have to read many times from beginning to end. It is not so easy. because you already lost in the patience, and also you don't have that patience also. So again, because of the one sentence, you have to read beginning to end. So generally, in my case, what I do, I will not send to any English expert or something. Even we don't want to lose money. Also, of course, we don't have a project to pay money. That's also, I think maybe you try to ask an Abdullah Ghani, he knows very well. Where is the money now? There is no money at all. There is no project at all. For proofreading, of course, you have to pay money. So generally, in my case, for almost all the papers, I try to go with another collaborator, because I have many collaborations. We know very well that who is good in what he is good, and everything we know. So generally, we assume that my collaborator in Australia. Australian, I think, yeah, you know very well. Australian language is very good. It is exactly same as in Western country. So he will try to correct my paper. That means he will finalize after confirming organization, flow, concept. Then the final version should be checked by who is in a co-author, or in a co-author who is expert in not only concept, language also. That is the way collaboration works. So my advice is, you should not go with a paid one or maybe English expert. That is okay for thesis. Thesis submission, yes, you can use it. Report submission, you can use it. Not for journal, especially IEEE transactions. You should not give it to any English professor. If you want to take a risk, okay, you can correct it. You can get corrections from English expert, but you have to make sure that, yes, corrected the sentence properly. Even sometimes one word destroy your whole paper. Because in IEEE transactions, I tell you, many times we got rejections, not because of the quality, not because of the contribution. It is because of the silly mistakes, even font, even figure, even font size also. Because for them, yes, it is correct. You have to think that, see, you are targeting a very high quality journal, right? So why you are doing a silly mistake then? For them, because the quality, that's what they're saying. Even you are not very serious. You are doing a silly mistake in the sense, what, you are not serious. See, this is a top quality journal, so you should be very serious. Even silly mistakes you are not supposed to do. I got many times rejections because of the font, because of the illustration, because of missing one figure, like this. So what my point is, when you target IEEE transactions, even a single word is very important. So even one sentence is very important. So my suggestion is, don't go with a English expert. Why you are unnecessarily paying money for them? You just go with them. Yeah, you try to have a collaboration. You can give authorship for him. If you're really good in understanding the concept and correcting the paper, no problem. You can make him an author. But that is the right way, according to my experience. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Shiva. Very, very good advice.
Yeah, it's all our experience.
Any other questions from the other participants? It seems like maybe no other questions. So with that, I would like to bring the question and answer session to a close, as well as to conclude this expert sharing session. On behalf of the Faculty of Computing and Informatics, University Malaysia Sabah, I would like to once again thank our speaker, Dr. Shiva, for the very informative, very detailed, very valuable talk on tips for choosing a research problem, generating new ideas, and writing Tier 1 articles, as well as to all the participants who have joined us for this talk this afternoon. Thank you so much again, everyone. Goodbye. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, please convey my regards to Professor Abdullah Ghani.
I sure will. Thank you so much.
Actually, I wanted to see him today. Why he was not there?
I think he's engaged with something else. Maybe very busy with some other meeting.
Yeah. Everyone is busy now. You are also busy. I am also busy.
I will pass on
throughout the world. Nobody say I am free.
Yes.
Nobody say, if you are giving a reason busy, nobody accept actually. Being a researcher, we don't accept. Anyway, just I am joking. It's okay.
Sure, I understand. Your regards to him. Thank you so much again, Dr. Shiva.
Yeah, because we know him very well, so I talk like this. So I don't mind in speaking some different language also.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, bye. Okay.
Bye.